music stopped.
Oh, well, we had another video, but I missed it. I'm gonna play it anyway. I'm gonna play it anyway. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, Mike worked so hard on that video.
That's amazing.
It's my fault. I'm technically the second time we've done this. So I had to hit.
I counted on you.
That's the first time I saw that. I'm just sitting here like, what? This is amazing.
What's up, MetaZoo, Cutthroat, Jeff, Justice, Rusty Ranger, Jester, Plum. Oh, we got a whole bunch of people.
How is everybody doing tonight, though? My name is Turmentic. This is TCG Island, also known as CNO, over in Facebook. That is Ian from Cryptid Nation News, and this is Let's Talk MetaZoo, which, honestly, last week when we did the whole three of us talking, the three amigos, all that stuff, that was honestly something we had talked about for about a month, trying to put it together. And we thought I honestly just thought it was just going to be a one-off thing where we talked with each other, had some fun, explained why we love MetaZoo, tried to uplift the community. But from everything I've gotten this last week, though, from personal messages I've gotten, reactions to the video, to all sorts of different stuff, we're going to keep doing this. This is an actual thing we're going to do on Mondays now. Let's Talk MetaZoo. So welcome to, I guess, the first official, whatever you want to call it, live stream. So hi, how's everyone doing?
Live stream, talk show,
for community forum, whatever, however you want to call it. Like,
yep.
But you have to label it.
We have to label. Well, we got some really exciting stuff later on that I want to talk about. That like we already have stuff planned out for the next couple weeks with this. So I'll talk more about that later. But I just needed to do that first intro for the people who are going to be watching this afterwards, because it is live streaming on my channel, so they actually know exactly what this is. Because I had a blast last weekend. I'll just be honest. I had a complete blast last Monday.
It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, it ended up, I actually ended up telling a bunch of people. I was like, I can see why, people do these live shows or talk shows or even like podcasts. I know this isn't typically that, but why they do that stuff, it's legitimately fun. Like, you get to sit here and just talk, man. It's like, whatever comes to mind. So it's nothing.
I don't remember if I said it before or during the show or after doing the show last time, but yeah, lives in general scare the crap out of me because, being alone, right?
Yeah.
But, it's easier to talk with people. You can bounce ideas off each other. The chat last week was awesome, just to kind of have chat. Question comes in and talk about that for a little bit. So that's been a great experience.
And that's what I wanted. I really wanted this week to kind of like us just talk a little bit about what exactly happened, any bigger news or anything like that. But then I really just wanted to open it up to questions, because we didn't really get to take that many last week. Like the one of Legalis kind of took over the stream, right? So as that amazing spoiler as it was, but we didn't get a chance, I felt, to actually answer some questions. So I wanted to actually really focus on that at some point.
So what do we? Oh, that's cute.
Aw, Ghost Train.
Okay.
I love you, Brandon. So yeah, I guess the first thing, honestly, we could talk about would be the craziness, I guess, that we've realized over this last week of what the water tower will be with the three times Terra bonus.
Oh yeah. I can't even.
I know, right? Like it
changes the whole aspect of everything. I mean, whatever strategies, I guarantee you there was plenty of people that were sitting back and just going through their decks like nonstop, talking with one another, really getting like a solid strategy, and then MetaZoo comes by and just, oh yeah, by the way, 3 times on Terras. And these ones are active the entire time. It's like, okay.
Yep.
That changes Chessie. That changes a lot of things.
A lot.
It changes the entire tournament, to be honest with you, because at this point now, what you're looking at is aura cost, like that aura cost curve versus the amount of maximum damage you can do. And there are some 1-2 cast beasties that can actually do more base damage now than some of the bigger, better that you would think water. Like I'm just really, really, really interested to see the decks, because there's going to be, I feel like there's going to be a good amount, probably at least half, that are very similar. But then there's going to be 50% of them that are going to have something that somebody didn't think of, or some sort of weird combo that was going to work for them. Like I'm really excited about this tower now, just because, again, it makes you completely think outside of the box. And it's unlike the other type of tournaments I feel like they've done before in the past. I can't think of anything where it's been like 3 times the amount of it with LP and damage. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see exactly how the different, like we were talking about last time, how there are still hundreds of possibilities, I feel, with cards that we don't know. Like we haven't been able to put those combos together. And I'm really interested to see how those combos work, and moving forward with the other towers too. Like, because it's not just water. I mean, it's earth is going to be next. So there's already going to be people who are trying to, you won't really know what Terra bonuses are going to be active probably until about a month out, like we got for water. Yep. But I do feel though that people are already going to start turning those gears now, which would be really cool in my opinion. Well, what would be really cool in my opinion is if MetaZoo takes it and doesn't make every tower event the same. So Earth isn't 3 times Terra. Earth is something else. Like I'm interested to see how the rest of the tower formats are going to work, especially since they in essence have like 7 little experiments they can do leading up to Caster's Cup.
So chasing Summer, to answer your question, are tower Terras actually active the whole time? I just pulled up everything for all the tower layouts and everything on Discord. I was having an issue with it on my computer, so I had to pull it up on my phone. But not all Terras, but specifically named one. No, so there are Fog, Island, Lake, Ocean, Raining, and River.
Yep.
Those are considered active and have 3 times. They do 3 times. So a Chessie for Lake is 50. That's actually 150 now. So it's a major.
And what I think is crazy is Water Baby, a 1-drop. It only has 10 LP, but it has 2 Terra bonuses. River and Island, 10 each, so not too great on their own. But when you consider that they're 3 times, that's 30 each. So Water Baby, a 1-drop, you can have 6 per spellbook, hits for 90. So I think you're going to be seeing a lot of Water Babies. I think you're going to be seeing some Wallowa Lake Crustaceans, some low-cost, high Terra or multi-Terra bonus beasties at the Water Tower.
Yeah, that somebody actually just pointed out what I wanted to say. The Terras themselves aren't owned, so they can't be destroyed either.
Right.
So, like, you can't get rid of Lake. You can't get rid of Raining. The other thing, too, is I believe they actually finally made a ruling, and you can't use the Terras to hide USO under.
Right.
Since the Terras are existent throughout the entirety of not just the arena, but the event itself is the way that I'm looking at it. You can't hide USO underneath it, which I thought was a really cool question that popped up in the Discord, like literally right after they dropped the document. Somebody was like, well, what about USO? Can that do anything? It's like, and I think they finally made that ruling. Decks
Yeah,
with
that's-
water babies.
Water
Baby is going to be a staple, I think, in every single deck, regardless of how you want to go about it, just because of the cost of it and it being able to. What it swings for 90, and it also has paralyzed, I think.
Is it
paralyzed?
paralyzed?
I can't remember what's the effect that it actually. It has
have
an
it right
effect
here.
too with the attack.
Yeah, paralyzed.
Yeah, I mean, but Water Baby, I play a frog deck anyways, and Water Baby by itself is a staple in that deck. And it's oh my god, Water Baby is swole.
Swole.
Swole Water Baby over there.
Stone Skin too, man.
Crucial. Yeah, well, that's something interesting too, though, because there's a couple cards like what is it? Toxic Water, I think, actually turns. Is that the card that actually turns the LP effects actually to you lose the LP instead?
No, that's Water to Wine.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be interesting too, because you actually could, in essence, one shot some beasties, because like Chessie, for example, you could almost one shot Chessie with that, because it would lose that life instead of it gaining the life. I'm really interested to see how it's going to work going forward. Like I said, especially if they change anything up for the Earth Tower or the Forest Tower moving forward or anything. I'm super excited to see how it works.
Oh, I think it's going to be a 100% new strategy than the way somebody typically plays. I think it's going to give people like a shot that can be really creative and things like that, and really put that creativity into play.
So just real quick, Caleb corrected us. The card that you were talking about is the Tower, not Water to Wine. I was getting confused. Water to Wine does the healing, turns into damage. The Tower turns your Terra bonuses into damage. Yeah. Or into lose.
Cutthroat actually had a good point too. If the Terra, all the Tower Terras are going to be active the whole event, or if they're going to be rotating per table or round. That's an interesting thought. I hadn't thought about that, honestly. Like, think of kind of like Caster's Cup, where like, especially when you got to the top cut, where all the pseudo environments and stuff like that. So, and that could be something that they do, is they're like, all right, table 1, table 5, and table 23, your active Terra is fog.
If they do that, I hope they make it real. Like there's a fog machine in the arena to make it hard to see. Or if it's raining, like you're just getting showered on.
It's just a sprinkler. Somebody took a knife and just stabbed a water hose a bunch.
There's plenty of water there.
Mario, what's up, Mario? So yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question.
Let's see.
So yeah, I think they should all the active the whole turn. Okay, yeah, I'd have to go back and actually look. I wanted to actually do a breakdown video today of the document, but for some reason the universe wanted to stop me, because everything. Well, my wife and I, we went to go buy a new car today, and we got the card, and we got it almost home, and then found out that the alternator in the car actually wasn't working. So I had to get somebody to come tow the car to my dad's shop so we could put an alternator in it. And then the alternator that they got at the shop wasn't the right one, so we had to go back tomorrow to get. It's been a day, but hopefully I'm depending on how late we go tonight, I might actually try to bust that out, because I really want to go into the specifics. I love the idea of the badge too. You get a badge for competing in a tower, and then every tower event that you go into, you get a star for it.
Yep. Yeah. Somebody actually commented on my video earlier, my weekly update, being like, "Hey, did you use Mike's dad in your video?" I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah.
Mike's dad is in the military, and I found a picture of him online with the military badge that the tower badges are going to be likened after. Somebody found it.
He messaged me last night. It was like, "Hey, guess what? I got a cool Easter egg in my update tomorrow." I'm glad somebody recognized it. That's kind of cool, though.
Justice. Hey, I hope there is. The question on the screen right now: do you think there will be special effects in the online client whenever a Terra is placed? I think that would be
awesome.
That would be freaking. That would be a cool effect, man. That would be pretty awesome. And
even if it's just something simple, that would be cool.
Yes, all three of us We will all be at the water tower.
But you guys are both competing, right?
Yeah, I'll be competing. I'll be playing.
Yeah.
First one ever.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not.
First one ever. So that'll be.
Hopefully, you'll be an MZO for it, though.
Yeah, hopefully. Otherwise, I'll be a cheerleader.
I know you applied. There's a couple other people I know that actually applied to be MZOs for it. I know there was a couple actually more profile higher players who didn't actually try to get into it because they were trying to MZO it, which I thought was kind of interesting. And they were just like, yeah, of course, I want to MZO the first tower event. Historic moment. That's a first. And I was like, that's kind of true. I mean, there were most of the MZOs at Casters Cup were they staff or were they actually community MZOs? I'm not sure.
I can't answer that.
I'm not sure I'm there either.
Tuffy
out there, yep.
Had to highlight Tuffy, man. Shout out Tuffy. Shout out Metaversity. You guys are doing awesome things, man. Awesome things.
Oh yeah, they got a big tournament coming up, don't they? That you're actually sponsoring, right? Next week.
The TCG Island Open, February 11th. And if we get over 64 players, it'll go on to February 12th. Make sure you guys sign up. That is MetaZoo for a year. Free MetaZoo for a year to the first place. Tuffy's got a whole prize pool set up too. I believe the sponsors on that, we've got Immortal Workshop. We got Doctor's Cards and IHC. There we go. Bam.
Nice. Yeah, I know, like, I know also with Metaversity Tuffy, you also, I think, have a tournament coming up soon, too, for nothing but MZOs, which I thought was super awesome that that they're doing that, because, like, MZOs, unless there's multiple in an area, a lot of times, from what I'm gathering from the MZO community, they're the ones that usually are the ones that are always judging everything. So it's harder for them to compete. It's harder for them to actually get qualified for towers and stuff like that, because they're the ones that are literally qualifying everyone else.
That's why we need more MZOs. Sign up.
Huge shout out to you about that, Tuffy.
Yeah. That's part of why I'm not competing in towers, or didn't try to compete in towers, I should say, for the water tower. It's because I was the only MZO in my area. So we have a second now. And in our player group, in our area is small enough that we could probably run 2 tournaments in one day if we had to. So
wait, does that mean though that you're going to be competing in the dark tower, or try to compete in the dark tower then?
Earth or dark or both? I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Dark. I'm more comfortable with dark, but I really like Earth. And the jerseys that they showed us, was that today? The jersey? Yeah, it was today. Jerseys.
Yeah. Oh man, those Earth Tower. Those
awesome.
Earth Tower jerseys are fire.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, I kind of like. I love Frogman. He's my favorite, but those Earth Tower jerseys, I think, actually they're a notch above the water ones.
I want to see Lightning, man.
I'm just gonna be completely honest. Like, the water ones look great. Those Earth ones, though, I was like, I hadn't planned on going to the Earth Tower, and now I really want to kind of go to the Earth Tower, but I don't know if I can go to the Earth Tower. So I'm like, well, I need one of those jerseys.
Yeah. The Lightning's going to be interesting. I imagine the headliner's going to be Kets, because I do think that all the headliners are going to be Cryptid Nation, the original Cryptid Nation set. And we know that Snipe is going to be one of the featured beasties as well. Andy's dropped that hint a few times now.
Okay. Interesting. I think I want to see the rest of the plush line for the rest of the towers, because each of the towers has its own exclusive plush, and which I thought was kind of cool, because it's almost, in essence, they're continuing what they did last year with Collecticon, because you got all of the Cumberland Dragons by going to the Collecticon. They're not doing that this year, I don't think, with the plush. Instead, those plushes are now going to be at the tower events. So I'm really excited. I'm excited for those, and especially since I don't do what.
What if it's multiple at the towers?
That's what I was going to say. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be ones that we're expecting either, though. Too, I think there's going to be some that are like, "Oh wow, I didn't think about that, but that plush looks awesome." Like, I think they got some curveballs for them. That's what I'm saying. I'm really excited moving forward with the rest of the towers, because there's so much that we haven't seen that I know that they have planned.
So what got me thinking about that just now actually was the plush that Andy had talked about for Lightning was a chibi snipe. And in the teaser cards for the water tower, we've seen chibi through adult agua. So could that be the plush for the water tower? And then could snipe, say, be the plush line for the lightning tower? And you're going to get chibi to adult, similar to how I'm looking up there because that's where my Cumberland Dragons are, but similar to how we got with the Cumberland Dragons.
Well, I mean, we've already seen a tease of the Loveland plush though too, because remember last year all he showed us when because Andy showed us the Mothman, he showed us the Saltbird, and then he showed us just the staff of Loveland.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't show us anything else. But
which ones are going to be tower plushies and which are going to be Beastie Besties, or is Beastie Besties dead and we're just getting the tower plushies now?
See, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Beastie Besties, to be honest with you, lately. And that could be one of those things too, because they're getting close to it, that they actually are not saying anything so they can surprise it. But at the same time, though, I mean, they are known to where if a collaboration or a partnership or something doesn't work, they'll still use that product that they had already planned on, that they had already designed for something else. Like they've done it before in the past, which is kind of brilliant in my mind, because it's like they're not wasting. They can create something, and even if it doesn't come into fruition, they can still use it later down the line for some other reason.
Yep. Pivot.
All right. I'm waiting to see what the Valentine's plushie is going to look like. I want to see what that. I can't wait for them to spoil that. Let me see. I've just been scrolling the comments while you guys have been chatting it up, man. So
I don't even know what Chibi would look like.
All I'm doing is spitballing for my other videos. This is great. This is my process.
He's pulling all his knowledge from his weekly that he dropped today, which if you haven't watched, you go watch his weekly after this. It's full of great information. What are you each looking forward to about the tower event other than competing? My biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is the storyteller's presentation. That's honestly I'm looking forward to that almost more than the tower competition itself. Just because I love Dee to death. She has been a huge supporter of stuff that I've done. And her cryptid knowledge is extensive. I mean, that's what she went to school for. And so I'm excited to actually be there to support her while she's presenting. I mean, at the first inaugural ever Loveland Frogman Festival. That by itself, I don't know. I'm really, really, really excited about that. I'm really, really excited about that.
I actually, how many people in the chat are going to be there? Because that's what I'm looking. I want to be able to meet. I've met a few people in the community and things like that. And whenever you've talked to these people online for so long and done all this stuff, and then you finally meet up and you get to see them, it's like I don't know. It's a good feeling. So I want to meet every place that I've been. For some reason I haven't. Mike Waddell hasn't been there. It's just the odd ones that I'll go to, and something's up and I'll miss a bigger event where he's at and things like that. So, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be at Water Tower. So I'm really looking forward to that. Everybody with Metaversity, anybody that I have ever talked to in the community period, I think it's going to be like seeing friends from high school that I don't know. It's just going to be, I like that, man. I like people. I like talking. I like all that stuff, man. So, if you guys see me out there or Turmentic or Ian or anybody, man, just come up. I'll come up to you if I notice you. Caster. Seriously, man, I'm not shy.
He will. Don't put it past him. He will.
I'm not shy.
Hey, you.
The problem with answering that third is you guys had taken both answers. But that really is the thing. And just to kind of add on to what Mike was saying is that I'm not going to know anyone's name. It's gonna be one of those things where you're gonna introduce yourself as the Discord name, or I'm not gonna know who you are at all. So I feel like we need name tags. These are like the 7 names I go by. I mean, and for me, that's true because I've changed my name so many times now.
Dude, I have that problem just going from Discord to Facebook. I'm like, oh, that's who you are. Should have said that earlier.
What's that one card? I always say it's kind of funny. I can't remember what it is, but there's one card where they have to know your name, I think, in order to actually do damage to you. And it's like, haha, well, I'll just always be Turmentic. That's not really my real name. So, and I'm like, well, never mind. I post my stuff on Facebook under my real name. So everybody knows my real name.
Yep.
Thwarted again.
That was my problem too. People started calling me Ian. I'm like, how do you know? Oh yeah, Facebook.
Oh yeah, that's right. The official MetaZoo group. I post my stuff in there. Okay, great.
I was too lazy to create a profile for myself and just used my personal, and that's on me.
I have one, and I just was like, nah, here's my stuff.
We all went by our 2 names.
Well, I stopped content. I stopped content creating like right at the beginning of COVID. I was really good when I covered like Wizards Unite and Pokemon Go and Minecraft Earth and stuff. I was really good about not using my real name or whatever. And then I would post under Turmentic, and then COVID happened, and then I started doing all this, and I was just like, whatever. And it's nice though too at the same time because I've become friends with a lot of you guys though too, where I am Facebook friends with a lot of people in the community now. And it's because of me using my real profile instead of using my Turmentic profile that gave me the opportunity to get to know some of you. Like not just through the Discord, because Discord is its own thing, but like a little bit more personable, like on Facebook. So, I mean, that's one thing I really love about TCG Island and MetaZoo Island is that, like, some of you guys in those groups on Facebook, you're some of my close friends. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, and it's nice because there's that connection that you don't. I mean, I love the Discord community, but you don't get that connection a lot of times because it's just a name and a hashtag. Sometimes it's just a comment. Whereas, like on Facebook, if I post something in the MetaZoo group, and I'll get real reactions to it, and I'll be able to see these real people instead of just a name and a hashtag. So I don't know. It's interesting actually if you take a step back and look at it. Dan, I'm talking again. I did it last.
We like when you talk.
Yeah, I know, man.
Why are you so self-conscious?
I'm a rambling man. I start talking, I don't stop.
All right.
See, Fizzgig joined. What's up, Fizzgig?
Oh, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, we're just seeing who's popping in.
Anybody else have any questions or anything before we? I guess we'll move on to something else.
Yeah. What spellbook are you going to bring to the water tower so people can be prepared to battle you?
I ain't telling you what I'm bringing. Water babies.
I almost got you. So close.
34 water auras and 6 water babies. Let's go. I'll throw in a couple crustaceans just like because I like the crab. The crab is one of my favorite water beasties. I kid you not. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, I like that. Other events you were excited for, not tower related. Ooh,
the gala.
Yeah,
the gala. Yeah. Like I'm excited not just to go to the gala, but also, and this might sound like lovey-dovey. I'm excited to actually bring my wife to the gala. My wife is a big supporter of what I do. She honestly listens to every video that I make just to make sure that things sound right and I didn't mispronounce something or I didn't misspell something because I'm the worst speller in the world. And I'm really excited to introduce her to some of the friends that I've actually made in this community. It'd be nice to actually have like a couple days away from the kids.
There, he said it.
I love my kids, but my kids are 7, 5, and 2, and sometimes we just need a day or two away. And we haven't had one in 7 years.
Oh no!
Thanks, COVID. But yeah, no, the gala for sure. And it will also give me an opportunity to actually meet a lot of people in the community that I haven't had a chance to yet. Like I talked last time, like I actually got to meet Andy once. I've never actually got the opportunity to meet Mike. I've gotten to talk to and hang out with Ted for a couple times. I love Ted to death. Ted is amazing. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see Bob again. I believe D is going to be there. Like I hope some of the artists are as well. I've only been able to really, ironically, I've only really been able to actually meet Lily and Jet. That's it. I haven't really been able to meet any other artists. So I'm really excited to potentially meet some more of the artists and some of the other, content creators that I've worked with, I've talked to, I've become friends with that I didn't get to go to Salem. So like, I didn't get a chance to really like meet all of you guys. Like, I just want to shake your hand, Ian. Like, you have no idea the amount of love I have for you, dude. Like I talked about it last week, but I still attribute my introduction to the community to you when you asked me to do that trivia question. So like, I just want to give you a big old hug, but you have to be wearing flannel.
Only if you bring the Valentine's plushie card and we agree upon it.
I will find one.
You got Ryan Hensley in the house. There we go.
What's up, Hensley?
Shout out Trading Card Vault. He's also a MetaZoo partner. Definitely a good guy. Got a great book. Great group in Facebook. MetaZoo Vault. Make sure you guys check them out as well. Yeah, Ryan's the freaking man. Good dude. Talk to him all the time, man. So always looking out for people. Yeah, he's a good dude, man. I want to give a shout out to like everybody in the chat, man. But that's like every name that pops up is like a freaking legend, dude. So we can't really. Golly. It's awesome. There we go. All right.
Something I just want to randomly bring up right now that I'm super stoked about is because we haven't really been I haven't seen really many people talking about it recently, is the PFP set.
Yes,
we're so focused on the towers and on native that no one's really been talking about PFPs. And oh my god, I am so excited to rip the couple boxes I was able to get. Just because it is, in my opinion, I think it is one of the most unique items that they have ever done. And it's multifaceted, if that's the right word to use, where it's not just the cards, but they also have the PFPs, and then there's also other redeemables with it as well too. So I would assume, I bet there's going to be some sort of a promo or some sort of other insert card or something like that potentially, like, I don't know. I'm super, super excited to see what it is.
Just look at it this way though. Like, so typically, people would have like, most people, like, for every set, right? You've got Mothman as a chase card for a lot. Then you got Sam Sinclair that's a chase for other people. You've got select beasties and things like that. And like, people will just post and scan and look, but now people are actually going to be searching for their exact PFP as well. Like, so it's actually
my Cumberland Dragon. If somebody gets that, let's go. Let's figure out a trade, because I want that.
Think about how much more the community will interact, like, in terms of platform. Like, I think you're actually going to have like people from Instagram talking to people in Facebook, talking to Discord, and they're going to come out of their comfort zones or their preferred, platform. And it's just going to introduce more people. It's going to bring more people to it. And then on top of it, when they announced a guaranteed topper that has a UFO or seance PFP in it, it's like,
the value's there.
Idiot win. It's like, oh, that's freaking amazing. So now PFPs and the toppers in every box. And I believe the whole set's gilded on top of it. And
it doesn't negate the chance of you potentially getting a redeemable one as well. Exactly.
It doesn't have to be in the topper.
Seated in, yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's actually posted it. I'm not sure if they ever came out and said it. You might know the answer to this, Ian. But I wonder if there's going to be any playable cards from the PFP set.
Yeah, they
Like-
did. They mentioned it in the NFT chat that we're not supposed to talk about, but I'm positive that's been spoiled already in public.
Oh, okay. Like I'm interested. Like I think it's going to be one of the most unique, like I said, products that they've released. I think this might be one of the first products that is almost ripped in its entirety as well too. I
know
see
about that.
some people holding on to it, but the thing is, though, is if they actually limit the redeemables, they're like, hey, you have 6 months to redeem it. I see most of them being ripped within 6 months, especially if a lot of, like, let's say half of it isn't ripped. And then some of the bigger PFPs, or like Mike says, oh yeah, there's certain secret rare stuff that hasn't been seen yet. I bet at least half of that remaining will get ripped also. Like, because again, I don't even know what to speculate about the set. I mean, if I remember correctly, it's like 7 different hollow patterns.
Sounds right. Yeah, I think. Excuse me. I think it was about 7.
It's just I don't know. It's just like I said. It's one of the biggest, most I don't want to say exclusive, but one of the most intricate. I guess that's the right word. Most intricate products that they actually made. Yep.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me too. The cost of it was what, it was $100 a box, which could be considered high for some, but when you consider that you're getting that guaranteed PFP topper, you know, right now the cost of those PFPs are low, but it's going to fluctuate. At the time that we bought those, or the original price of those PFPs, it was more than that. So you're essentially getting your value in the product that you're redeeming for the NFT.
I'll be honest, man. It used to be this whole thing where, if I paid for something, like what I get out of it's gotta, there's got to be some sort of financial regain. You know what I mean, with everything. And now it's like, it's not. I don't know. It's not the same like that for me anymore. It's weird. Like I kind of don't need that return on. But you get it. Don't get me wrong. You can get it huge tenfold easily, but I think with the PFP set, I think once people start, because I could imagine a freaking imagine an old scratch PFP, like if one of those ever got shown. I think those are going to be absolutely crazy. What is that?
It's actually a good point that you made there, Hasgar. This is the first ever exclusive product to NFT holders. They've never done anything like. If you the only way to get it if you didn't have one of NFTs or the PFPs was literally to buy it secondary market. And so like that's an interesting move as well too, because it actually that alone gives the PFP NFTs value if they are going to make exclusive drops that are exclusive to them. That I feel like, I mean, I know some people are against it, and I'm all for it, because that just reinforces, in my opinion, the value that the PFPs or the NFTs actually have themselves. Because like I saw that Pee-wee said that he technically was against crypto and NFTs, but he is also correct though too, because these are almost in essence physical NFTs, because you have the card with it as well too. It's very similar to the DC Hero hybrid stuff, where you can actually have the physical card, but then you turn it around and there's a QR code, and you scan the QR code, and you actually have the NFT itself proper. So there's an interesting middle ground, I think, at MetaZoo. MetaZoo was found with this PFP set, which is actually really exciting.
Was that ever confirmed though? Because I asked about that in a MetaZoo hour, and it never got answered. That you're going to actually be getting a PFP of a, say, Seance Beastie.
No, I think
that is going to be redeemable for the same image.
I think they said that they would be airdropped or something like that.
I think that as far as, and I mean,
so you still have to hunt for the PFP that you have.
Yeah, don't quote. But they actually did say that the code itself, I think, was going to be for that one. And so it was one of those where, I think that all of them were going to be airdropped, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
once you redeemed it. But I don't think the redemption process was random. I think that's what you were saying.
Yeah, yeah. Do you get a code and it's a random PFP, or do you get a card with, say, with orange eyes on it, and you get that orange eyes PFP as your redemption? And that's what I was never sure on. Is like, are we going to just be kind of pulling codes in our box topper, or are we going to be pulling
this? It would
PFP
make sense just knowing how the PFPs were originally created. Because fun fact, the PFPs originally, they were, I believe, what is it, 12 bases? There's 12 different bases, different cryptids for the PFPs, if I remember. So those 12 bases were actually made individually, and all of the different attributes, the mustaches, the horns, the eyes, the mouths, all of that, those were made individually. They were given a percentage, and pretty much in essence, no one, including MetaZoo proper, knew what the PFPs in essence were going to look like until they hatched originally. And all of those attributes were given randomly to every single egg. So it could be a hybrid of what, like, you're talking and I'm talking, where you pull out a Walking Sam, for example, which I don't think it's going to be Walking Sam. I think it's going to be new PFPs. I think it's going to be new beasties we haven't seen. So let's use Bellwitch for, not Bellwitch. Oh God, I can't even think of one right now.
Orange eyes.
Mini T-Rex. We'll use Mini T-Rex. All right. So you have Mini T-Rex. You pull out a Mini T-Rex PFP card, but it has a redemption code on it. It could work to where, yes, you are going to get a Mini T-Rex, but when you put in the redemption code, it randomly generates the attributes that PFP gets. So it could be a combination of both, honestly. Now, if you get an art card that actually has like a T-Rex with blue flames and a cowboy, like instead of a cowboy hat, it's like a backwards baseball cap or something, I would imagine that once you put in the code, you would get that artwork. But again, to even go further, they, like Mike was talking about getting people to talk to each other. It could still just be you get the artwork with the backwards baseball cap, but you put in the code and you get a random Mini T-Rex, and now you have somebody else's PFP that they redeemed that you get. It starts the whole talking to other people to try to get your card to see who else. If you want to even get rid of the original one, you might want to keep the original one because yours looks different even. So there's just so many possibilities when it comes to this PFP stuff. And like I said, I don't even know where to begin to start speculating about.
Well, I was trying to pull up in Discord where it was talking about the rarities, because there's like one of ones, one of 25s, right? Like, or /25 / I'm trying to find the exact announcement where it states all the different serialized cards, because there are like a ton of hits.
I have it.
From the
I have it here from the announcements. So MetaZoo PFP Gilded set will go on sale December 11th. In order to qualify for purchase, must own a PFP. The set will feature 7 chase variants, each with a different holofoil, as well as one of ones, one of 25s, and one of 99 serial cards.
Yeah.
So basically everything we talked about.
Comes with 6 packs. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm looking over.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about the MetaZoo backed full art cards. Right. Oh, never mind. That's what a PFP is. I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah, and it says the redemption process will be similar to revived skateboards. The new PFPs will be airdropped to your wallet if you redeem one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Are those notes? Is that a note?
Yeah, this is my every single video that I make. I make notes. Like, I actually write out like every single video that I do, and I keep the notes.
I know
you stuff.
Yeah, I get pictures.
Don't worry, so does he. Both of you, you actually get pictures.
All right, let's.
Turmentic, do you have a book on MetaZoo news? What do you mean by a book on MetaZoo news? I don't have, the book comes out later this year, and as soon as it comes out, I'm going to, oh my God, take a week off of work and dive into it. I can't wait for the book to actually come out. Oh yeah, it is my MetaZoo notebook. and it's actually the second one. I already went through one. It was around September. I went through for a big old notebook already, so that's my second one. Would you rather fight one Chessie-sized water baby or 20 water baby-sized Chessies? What?
Why not both?
Dude, I had to highlight that one, man. That's awesome.
Do you no time out.
He's gonna go grab an Animorphs book or something too.
I'm afraid what's about to happen.
I'm not gonna grab the Animorphs book. I'm grabbing my binder.
Why?
On the fly, yes. All right, don't judge me. I keep this next to me.
I just want to say, water baby sized Chessies are going to have razor sharp teeth at that size.
100%. Like,
so that's not going to be fun.
Termentic's
but they are punchable at that point.
Termentic's going to have a theory video about this after this. So.
Okay. All right. So, hear me out. The water baby sized Chessies are only going to be 1.5 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
So I might go with the Chessies and wear some nice boots.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I don't want to fight no water baby inside of
It's 30 meters.
It's not okay to talk about kicking water babies, but it's okay to talk about.
Oh wait, yeah, okay, no, Ghost Train actually it weighs 1.7 tons, but it's only 1.5 feet tall, so I ain't kicking it nowhere. So
it would keep its mass in this scenario. So no,
I'm gonna go with the water. I'm gonna go with
a giant Chessie-sized baby doesn't weigh much.
I'm gonna go with the Chessie-sized water baby. Sorry about it. I'm changing my answer. You imagine 20 1.5 ton little 1.5 foot tall creatures coming at you? Like, well, it depends. Am I fighting them on land? If I'm fighting them on land, it's not going to go anywhere. Oh, no, good question. Good question.
That's why I said you're gonna have a theory video after all this. With as much,
I'm not making a theory video about 1.5 feet tall Chessies. That's frightening.
Hey guys, I heard if you dare Termentic to do something within 24 hours, he has to do it or something like that.
Don't you put that juju on me, Ricky Bobby?
Pretty sure. I think Hasbar can confirm that, or maybe Alan. I don't know. Somebody can. Somebody can confirm that stuff for me.
The dare was songs.
Was that the All-Star one?
I think that was one of them.
Oh, yeah. That was Bo Burnham. That was that Welcome to MetaZoo.
It was Bo Burnham. You also did a Nightmare Before Christmas one. Wasn't that also a dare?
The gift.
That one wasn't really a dare. That was more when I released the Smash Mouth parody. I can't remember who it was. Somebody commented, I'm Nightmare or something, and I just got the idea of Nightmare Before Christmas, and I listened to it one day, and I was like, "This is MetaZoo. This is MetaZoo. 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 MetaZoo." And I was like, "Okay, I have to do that. Like, it has to happen." And my favorite though, honestly, is the Christmas album, just because I modeled that after every single mid-90s. Buy my CD. Here's a PO box to ship it. Like that's probably my favorite parody one I've done so far, though.
I have so many memories of being sick at 3:00 in the morning watching those infomercials. So good. So okay, hold on.
You want a blast from the past?
Before we lose that comment, what is a death chip?
Go and search Pure Imagination commercial.
Okay.
Or no, Pure Soul commercial. And it's, I think, is it or Pure Moods? I can't remember. Pure Moods. It's Pure Moods. Pure Moods, actually. That's from like the late 90s. And just listen to it. And it's even if you only saw it when you were 2 years old, or if you saw it when you were 8, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I forgot that commercial existed. Need Termentic to do Party.
Oh my gosh. This is next. This is next, man.
Really, Hasbar?
You got to do this one.
+1. I vote for this.
How would I do that, though?
Vote for this one.
That's for you to figure out.
That would be He'll do it too, man.
He's already got it.
He'll do it.
I was thinking in my head.
I'm telling you, man.
I was like, okay, I could see the beat. I just don't know how it'd actually do the party in the USA part, because that's party in the.
That's awesome, man.
Ooh, I just got it. Party in the C Nation. All right. Okay.
He's already got a new title.
No timeline on that Hasbar. No timeline on that.
Party in the CNU. Man. So what? Let me see what else. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Looks like they're florking in the Discord.
Are they florking in the Discord? I want to flork in the Discord.
Let's see.
I'm surprised we're
Everybody
not
get to
florking
the
right
Discord. Flork
now. Why
it.
aren't we florking with the
Wait,
Discord?
why are we florking though? No, they're not florking in the Discord. Don't.
They're not florking in the Discord.
You lied to me.
I keep getting updates.
No.
I got really excited about florking.
Are you
in the Discord.
Are you like subscribed to the Flork channel?
Oh, I think I am. I think that's what it is.
Dalton just florked.
Power
It
Lab.
is.
Okay, Power
We
Lab's
did
sitting
not-
in there and just
We
spamming
did
the
not
floor.
mean to intentionally start a fork party in MetaZoo
No, we did.
Discord. Don't put that juju on me, Ricky Bobby. Okay, never mind. Mario did it. We're safe. Mario did it. We're good. All right, fork party in MetaZoo chat. Let's
Are we
go.
Oh
doing
my
this?
God.
We're
Are
doing
they
this.
really? Oh, it's going down.
I'm doing it.
It's
Look, I
going
did it.
down. Here we go.
Dio and Roz are gonna be in there like, what the heck, guys?
They're gonna get mad at me. Oh my God, no!
You got tagged.
Mario just
Howdy.
put in chat. Turmentic told me to do it. Oh no! All right. Well, I'll
There we go.
I'll talk to you guys probably about a week after I get done with my mute. I started the fork party.
Man.
That's
It'll happen so
what I
fast.
love about this community. I love you guys. I really do. All of you. Every
I'll
single
be
one.
honest, man. I don't know where the fork thing originated from. I don't know.
Here, actually,
I don't
you tell
know
the story. Ian.
the origin of it.
I don't know how they partnered with Flork, but Flork is an artist. I think he does webcomics. I haven't actually read them, but and somehow partnered with Flork, and he did his interpretation of the Beasties, and that just kind of stuck. I don't know. It was before my time when it all started.
That's what I mean. I just don't. I just remember all of a sudden it was dot fork, and I'm like, when did this start? Like, where did this come from? I just didn't know where it came from.
I'd be interested to see if MetaZoo reached out to him, or if he just saw the cards and kind of reached out to them, because like Flork has a huge following himself. Like, I mean, he is an actual like well-known artist.
Yeah,
No,
Mario says Flork is a fan.
Yeah, no, I know
okay,
that.
that's cool.
But I didn't
And-
know
I mean,
when
and
When it happened.
when the everybody started doing it, because I know
So-
at one point people were doing it, and it was aggravating people
So
at a certain point.
when can we expect your interview with Flork?
Oh my God, I'd love to talk to Flork. There's so many. Well, see, I mean, there's so many awesome people in the community. I would love to talk to. I mean, Flork is one of them. I mean, you also have Joker's Favor. You have MetaZool. Both of them, Joker's Favor and MetaZool, who are in every stream, they comment on every video. Like, they're huge presence in the community. I'd love to have even people who aren't content creators, but are just fans of the game itself. Like, I mean, like, I don't know. I want this to be, and like Mike and I, we talked about this a lot. Like, we want this to be something where this shows that not only do we all love this game and this franchise and we want it to succeed, but we're also just regular, normal people. I mean, like I told you about my car actually messing up today. Like, everybody has a different story. Everybody comes from somewhere else, somewhere different. And it's nice to actually show like why we lift everybody up. Like, I don't know. I love this idea of just casters talking.
Yep. Mike just needs to be nicer to the normal people.
The normal people.
I am nice to the normal people. Yeah. Calling quick interviews with the community. That would be cool. That would actually be that would be cool.
The way that this we're using StreamYard, the way that works, you can actually have people kind of signed in and in the backstage, right? So it could be done with this platform. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of people that I consistently see in the community here, content creators or not, Hasbar, Wayward Caster, Mothhawk, Clay at Rusty Ranger, a bunch of people.
Yeah, no, I want to be backstage.
I want to be backstage. Just put him backstage.
You can always be
there.
Backstage. Oh man. I need Native to release like ASAP, man. And we still have what?
I'm stoked.
2 months,
A
roughly.
month and a half.
Well,
golly.
Well, I mean,
roundaboutish. Like we don't know yet
for the core set, but we're gonna start having cards in hand on March. Well, maybe even before at Collecticon, but at the Water Tower they're gonna have the spoiler packs. So we're gonna have a good idea of what the set looks like, what the cards are gonna be doing around that last weekend of February, first weekend of March.
We've only seen a handful of the cards too. I mean, like maybe 12 to 15 in total, where we can actually tell what they do with their name, their backstory, things like that. Like we've only seen like 12 to 15, I want to say, really. We know some of the other beasties that are going to be in it though, like Seven Maidens, Skinwalkers, things like that, but we have no idea what any of those their terror bonuses, their attacks, like with their life or anything I know those are going to be. I'm interested to see if the theme decks, and I can't remember from the picture honestly, but if the theme decks are going to be dual aura as well, again as well.
They are. Yep.
They are. Okay. Cool.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, I think Seven Maidens is Cosmic Light. Skinwalker is another Spirit Dark. I think there's a Forest Light. Frost Forest for Adlet. So they're all. The
Mothhawk.
Mothhawk.
There we go.
Mothhawk, that was you that did the covers of the
amazing.
Yeah. I was just like sitting here just playing them on repeat at work. It was great.
Dude, it's phenomenal.
I lost my mind the first time I heard that, dude. I was like, why have I not heard this before? I went back and watched like a good solid almost every single one of your videos on your channel and subbed and everything. Like if you guys aren't following Mothhawk, check out his page and watch his videos, man. That he's definitely talented, man.
Stay for the end of the Nightfall
watch
one.
The cover specifically of Nightfall.
Yeah.
So you can see the change, and I'm not going to say anything, but just watch this one specifically.
Watch it to the end. Don't skip ahead.
Don't skip ahead. Watch it. It's amazing.
Harley! Sorry, that was loud.
Epic.
Actually, okay. So since Harley is here right now, I'm going to go ahead and actually say this because I said that while we were talking or whatever, I was going to start talking more about like what Let's Talk MetaZoo, what our plans are with it. Well, next Monday, join us at 9:30, please, because we will be talking with Harley here on Let's Talk MetaZoo. Getting to know him, figuring out when he decided he wanted to start covering MetaZoo, what he likes about MetaZoo, like all of the stuff we were talking about last time, specifically to the three of us. We want to talk to Harley. We want to actually lift him up and get him personal, because even when you're ripping cards and stuff, there's always some sort of a character that you're still playing. Like I still even do it when I'm actually doing live on YouTube, ripping cards, talking about lore and everything. This right here, though, I felt was very genuine. Not with just me, but like the three of us, where I feel like this is more Rob talking than Turmentic. And that's kind of like what I want this to be. Like I said, I want this to be personable, and I want people to actually realize who we are and why we love this brand so much. So Harley's coming out next week, so definitely need to come and hang out with us. All right, yeah. Tell you more later. Well, there's a little treat talking about Let's Go MetaZoo. I don't know, like I said, we didn't think this was going to be a thing. We thought this was just going to be a one-off thing, and then it just turned into what it is, and I'm just rolling with it. because
So
it's amazing. It's so amazing.
I'm laughing at Ghost Train. He says, "Oh, you can scream Harley, but can't scream Ghost Train randomly." So there's been this running joke. I don't know how long it's been running now that he wants me to scream "Choo Choo." It's Choo Choo, right? Just
Oh my God,
randomly
please
during a
give Ghost
MetaZoo
Train a little
hour,
choo-choo.
and I keep
Give him a
forgetting
little
to do it.
It's choo choo, right? Choo
Choo
choo.
choo, choo choo. But like just like randomly doing the MetaZoo hour, and then just kind of like surprise cut into a choo choo, and then at exactly 3:33 is what we agreed upon. It's gonna happen.
Hey.
I just have to remember to do it.
I just figured out what your Tuesday short for YouTube.
Oh, just Ghost Train, not Choo Choo. Sorry.
Just Ghost Train, choo choo. No, but that's your short for tomorrow for YouTube, man.
I gotta do it.
What's up?
I mean,
Chris?
I
How you
know
doing,
most of the people that'll be coming on the show right away are mainly going to be like YouTube content creators. It's going to be content creators just in general. We're gearing it more towards the Discord, the active Discord roles at first. Because to be honest, like in my opinion, I run Facebook groups, I still go to Discord for all my new information, and I take that information from Discord and bring it to Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So we want, and this is streaming over 2 Facebook groups right now. So I'm trying to we want to try to help get the content creators to be more known because there's a lot of popular people through Discord and then again, that barrier between names with Facebook and Discord kind of makes people not really see them. But when we bring them on, we're going to be bringing people from Facebook on here. So a lot of the people from Discord will get to see who this Facebook user is. And then it's going to be like, oh, that's who that is. And then it's just going to make people know who to follow. It's just going to bring a lot more, man. There's so much you can get from Discord. There's so much you can get from Facebook, so much you can get from Instagram, to bring it all together into one place and constantly stream it. And we're going to be adding it to Twitch. We're going to be adding other, later on down the road. Again, like Rob said, man, this was just, it was going to be a one and done thing at first. And then it was like, hey, this is fun. We're not doing it for
honestly, it was you guys. It was you guys watching. It was them watching. It was the people reaching out to me, people reaching out to Mike, telling them how much fun they had with it and this and that. And that's really what made it was like, well, maybe we should actually just keep doing it and then expand and talk to more people, bring more people into from the community on, and expand from that. I'm just gonna we were talking about other people we're gonna bring on. I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna be able to actually get Dee the storyteller to come on before the water tower, and I can't tell you how excited I am to talk about her. And like I was saying before, her degree, what brought her in the cryptids, what she wants to do in the future. Yes, we'll talk about MetaZoo, but who I want you guys to know who she is, because the more that we actually know, the more that we know about each other, the more, again, my thing is just lifting everybody up. And if everybody's on the same page, then there's nothing that this community can't do. There's nothing literally that we can't do.
Can I request an interview? I want to interview Dad Hat, but just the hat.
Just the hat.
Just the hat.
He has to use a little dowel rod to make the hat go up and down to talk. It's literally just if you can make that happen, Chris, we will make that happen. Oh my God, that'd be hilarious,
awesome, man.
I promise I'll be more serious.
Yeah, no, I've got somebody that that we'll be bringing on. I'm not going to release the name yet, but that's going to be more for. It's going to be, I would say, more of a collector's interview, you could say.
Nice.
A showcase, if you will.
Have some pretty amazing things, some things that'll definitely, wow the audience for sure. And a lot of times, because I started out as a collector, but now it's honestly, I don't know, I'm like even now between gameplay and collecting and just this one person's collection, there's a lot of people with amazing collections, don't get me wrong, but this particular individual got some crazy stuff. Ghost Train, absolutely no clues.
So
yes.
Somebody from Facebook asked, what beastie is the next set based around? The next beastie is Pysolver.
Or do they mean war?
I see what you. Oh yeah, that's a good question. Actually,
that would be cool though.
Because each set kind of has a main beastie, almost, and Pysol is 100% native. You can't tell from the 4 booster boxes. It's just plastered on there. I love me a good Pysol bird though.
That's why I'm wondering if they're talking about wars.
Piazza.
Yeah.
Like not. It's Pysol.
Swamp Fox.
Yeah. I'm leaving.
One of the things I did this last week too is we're reworking on chapter 1 of the comic, because I'll be honest with you, when I first did chapter 1 back in April of last year, I didn't really know what I was doing. So I'm going through and actually changing up the volume and adding some more music to it, making the transitions easier, stuff like that, because I want to make a really big push over the next couple months of trying to introduce more people to the storyline and the lore. And the remastered, if you haven't had a chance to actually listen to the remastered version of chapter 1, definitely go and check it out.
Do it.
I'm excited to actually get back to M, because M's voice was the favorite one that I've done so far in the comics. And Ian has actually convinced me to probably do chapter 2 as well. So I'm going to try to reach out to some people in the community and actually get them to voice some characters in chapter 2, most likely, because I got the Demon Fergus to actually voice Indrid Cold for chapter 1, part 1 remastered. So if you go and listen to it, go and listen to at least the first 30 seconds of it, because my man Demon Fergus kills it.
It was great. That was perfect.
I assume War it's Mothman since he's returning one more time. See, I would agree with you, Joker, about that, because Joker's talking about Mothman here. So that's the comment. He's talking about Mothman being the featured one for War. I don't know, though, to be honest with you, because there's been hints back and forth lore-wise that Mothman itself isn't evil. Mothman takes on the aura of whoever contracts it. So I don't know if Mothman is going to be, especially since, I feel like Mothman was the big one for Nightfall. Because Mothman was on the booster box. So I think they might pull a 1-2 on us and actually have a different beastie as the main headliner, if you will, for War.
Can I say who I think it might be?
Go for it.
I am under the impression, and I don't know why, I just feel strongly that it's going to be a light-based set. I think it'd be really interesting if Sam Sinclair was the headliner, because they all pull from Cryptid Nation base set for all the headliners, right? You have well, no, that's not true. Wait, was Mothman was on the Nightfall box, right? Yeah, Mothman was on the Nightfall box. So you have Mothman, you have Bigfoot, you have Flatwoods Monster, Walking Sam. They're all from the Cryptid Nation block, or Cryptid Nation set, I should say. So there's only a few aura types we haven't seen yet, and we have the whole dual aura. We have Pious Bird on a Earth-based set, so that could throw a wrench into it. But I feel like for what we haven't seen yet, what do we have? We have Flame, Light, Frost. Water is going to be 7 Seas. Right? Am I missing any others that we haven't seen yet? Anyone?
Oh my gosh! Imagine this.
No, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Yes.
Ooh, Indrid Cold could be cool too. Actually.
I would replace Indrid with maybe Adam, and I believe that. I'm still under the impression that Adam and Sam are going to be fighting in war. So I almost would actually like on what you were saying about like what you were saying about Sam being the headliner. I could see them potentially, if it is true that Sam and Adam are the ones that are fighting each other. I could see them doing some sort of two booster box art set, one with Adam, one with.
So like a light dark set, maybe.
Yeah. Well, because if you honestly, I'm trying to remember, but you said something and it made me think of the orb theory, the UFO orb theory, and I had said that war was going to be the battle between light and dark, and so that was like, well, that's super super interesting. Like,
so if I remember the orb theory, I think it went into frost before water, right?
I think so.
That could point to
a
war being frost.
I think it did.
It's gonna be interesting. Man, that was like hell freezing over.
I mean, there's no sense in it keeping being warm if Scratch is free. It's my opinion that Scratch actually was freed during Seance, or at least the soul of Scratch or the power of Scratch was freed. Justice, the orb theory is an old cryptid theory that I released back in like August. If you check out my channel and go to cryptid theory, I think it's the title is the orbs of UFO, and I broke down the orbs and what I thought the orbs actually meant. I kind of really want to go and see if I can come up with anything for the Seance ones, but I don't know. I'm interesting. Exactly, Thane. Exactly. But yeah, it's been a while since I actually looked at that one. I've been so focused on the Key of Solomon and the Lesser Key of Solomon and the Ring of Solomon that I kind of haven't even messed with the orbs in a while. Last ever MetaZoo set War of the World and its Cryptid Nation Yokai Grimm's Kingdom, having all that war, then Sam repairs Veil and sits an old man on the front porch holding Rose's hand. Oh, that just ends the story though, and that takes magic away from everybody. Oh, he can't do that. I mean, I like the idea of Cryptid Nation, Yokai, and Grimm all like coming together to fight in some sort of I don't know, cryptid world fight. Haha, because cryptid world's the next or the last block that we know so far. But I don't know. I'm still, like I said last time, I'm still convinced that the forces of darkness are going to take over Cryptid Nation at the end of war. I don't think Sam and company wins. I think that's why they have to go to Yokai Island.
To kill the mood.
Well, I'm sorry. We'll get some really cool pirate cards at least out of it.
I'm really hoping for a Kraken.
Someone asked if there was going to be a pirate frog for Seven Seas. And I think they want you to do a voice of a pirate frog from Seven Seas.
I dare you. I dare you to do a voice of the pirate frog.
You just want to hear me say number 2 again. You just want to hear me say number 2. I kid you not. At the end of the last time we did this on Monday, I get a message from him like 10 minutes when we're done. He's like, "What in the heck is number 2?" And I had to explain to him that the only way I could get into it is by doing his. Okay, so when Sam first meets Love in his castle, Love basically tells Sam that his power is an abstract power, and there are 6 ways that he can actually defeat him. And he goes number 1 through 6. And for some reason, the number 1 through 6, depending on which one it is, it helps get into a different inflection. So, Pirate Frog. The frog voice.
Yeah, I feel like Pirate Frog is gonna be like a number 5.
Number 5. No. All right.
I'm clipping all those. I'm just letting you know. They're all getting clipped. I know you're not deleting these videos.
Number 2. Well, I'm a frog pirate. Come sail with me, matey. Yar. It doesn't work.
Alan, we need make it a gift. Wait, who's the gift maker at Discord? Who?
Alan.
Alan. Yeah.
I could try. Let me see if there's another. I'm not gonna try it with Sam's. I could try it with M's.
100%, MetaZoo. 100%.
All right. Well, here we go. All right.
Being
1,
done.
2. Well, I am a pirate that is MR. I'm so bad at doing. See, I can't. Pirate voices are hard.
Wait, okay, hold
Hey,
on.
matey.
Sorry, you still said number 1, 2.
I did
So
what?
well, why you got into voice by saying 1, 2?
No. I want this. Well, I want into this voice right here. This right here is my M voice. This is how M talks. Very cheery, very pip. Going around being all happy. Sam, what are you doing? Eat your breakfast. You know you need to eat your breakfast before you go to school. M is like my favorite one that I actually voiced. M, all right, Sam, you're going to do amazing things and have amazing adventures. People are going to need you. They're going to count on you. So go into this pathway right here. Be safe, and I will take care of the Mothman. M is, like I said, M is my favorite one.
1 hour and 16 seconds. All right.
What?
Just so I know where to go
1
back.
hour, 16 minutes.
I'm going to go back.
So I have the ultimate dare
he's
now.
going to clip it. Oh, great.
I have the ultimate dare for you. So when you were doing your Frogman voice, you said, "Come sail with me," and in my head, I couldn't not hear "Come Sail Away" by Styx in your Frogman voice. So your dare.
Sail away. That's what you wanted. Oh, you're not entertained.
I need to hear it.
Okay, man. I can't do a pirate voice in my normal voice. All right, come with me, matey. Let's go sail the seas, and we'll go and walk the plank. And then it just comes out to be British instead.
That's what I was gonna say. What kind of pirate is that?
I don't know pirate.
Apparently,
terms.
I work for the East India Tea Company. They were Dutch. They were. I just fail across the board.
There, I'm getting.
Eat some snack cereal to get the inner frog voice.
So how many people do we have here still? I still got 32. I got like a
Never
couple
look at the numbers.
All right, so here's an actual huge announcement. This is something that I have been working on since August. And this is the first time that I'm actually going to talk about it in the open.
Correct.
This is huge in my opinion. So I got approached in August by Dad Hat to figure out how to turn MetaZoo into a tabletop game. And so I talked to my buddy Dudley, who I work with at Super Galactic, and over the last couple months, we've developed a way of turning MetaZoo into a tabletop game. It's not just a book that you look through or anything like that. This is using your physical MetaZoo cards that you own, that you have, to play this game. The only other thing, honestly, you would have to really buy is dice. So anyway, myself, Ian from Cryptid Nation News, Dad Hat, Moldy Potions, Metacracks, and Bats from Caster Society are going to actually be playing the first ever MetaZoo tabletop game Sunday the 19th live. It's going to be streaming on my channel. It'll be streaming on MetaZoo Island, the Facebook group. If we can figure out a way of actually streaming it on other channels as well, it might be on those, but I know for sure it will be on those two spots. And this will be think of it as a MetaZoo version of D&D. And it will be a 2-night event. It will be a Sunday starting, I believe, at 9:30. And then we won't actually have an episode of Let's Talk MetaZoo that Monday because it will actually take that spot at probably 10:30. I'm still working on the time for Tuesday. or sorry, Monday. But it'll be a 2-night event of us actually, like I said, playing the first ever MetaZoo tabletop game. Lawyers will be in contact with you, potentially. At the same time, though, this is something that I honestly really hope that Mike and Andy and the rest of the admin team watch this, because again, this isn't us this isn't like Pathfinder. If you're familiar with Pathfinder, this isn't one-shot D&D campaigns where you have to have the book with the monsters, you have to have all of these things. This is literally us using the MetaZoo cards to play this game. So if you want to play a specific beastie, you have that physical real card in front of you, using the information on the card itself to make the mechanics of the game actually work. I'm so excited to actually show this to you guys. Huge shout out, like I said, to Dudley. He honestly put in all of the legwork for it. He's a dungeon master for D&D and other tabletop games. Like huge. He's amazing. So huge shout out to him. And again, more details and stuff like that will be coming out. I wanted to actually announce it on this. And that's kind of what we were getting at again at the beginning, how like this kind of just evolved into what it is, where like we now have a month of content on Mondays lined up, and there's so much more that the three of us have talked about, that Mike and I have talked about, that Ann and I have talked about, that I'm so excited, like I said, just to highlight this community. And there's so many awesome people who are going to be a part of that game that I'm hoping it will bring in some of the tabletop people who watch like Critical Role. I'm hoping that by watching the live play tabletop game, it might bring some of them into MetaZoo to look into it, or be like, oh, I didn't realize it was about cryptids. And it's all about expanding the brand and expanding the reach that MetaZoo itself actually has. What social media is the best way to spread MetaZoo awareness? Oh, I only use YouTube, but I should focus on other platforms. Any and all. Any and all.
MetaZoo Menace, are you Pokemenace as well? So if so, you do shorts, and that's really easy to take the same shorts you're putting on YouTube and put them as Reels and Instagram, as whatever it's called in TikTok. So you can take that same short and use it in multiple platforms. I've actually, on my shorts, I get a lot more engagement in TikTok than I do in YouTube.
Well, one thing that I noticed is that, the different social media platforms, when you're hitting them, you're actually, if you really think about it, it's almost in age groups in a sense. Mm-hmm. Like you have because I've done advertising on TikTok and Facebook, Instagram, and everything like that. And when the analytics come back, it tells you what age group you were hitting the most. And I've noticed that TikTok, it's more younger people, more around 18 years old and even younger, like 16 to 19-ish, like that. You're hitting that area more. Facebook is more, I'd say more towards, upper 20s, mid 30s, somewhere around there. And then Instagram is in between, TikTok and Facebook. Mm-hmm. YouTube, I'm not sure of. I'm sure you guys are more aware of YouTube, but I think YouTube's probably just all the way around, huh? Mm-hmm. Probably.
Something you want to be aware is if you actually do use the same reel for multiple platforms, get rid of the watermark. If you create a video on TikTok, get rid of the TikTok watermark. The algorithm and the social platforms themselves do not like watermarks of other platforms. Mm-hmm. And that can severely hurt your performance.
Yep. And one thing I noticed with TikTok too, and it's actually kind of funny because MetaZoo Menace or Pokemenace is the reason I started doing daily shorts, which I have failed in the last 3 days. So it's nice to be able to give this tip back. So on TikTok, I have just over 50 followers now, but my view counts there are much higher than what I'm getting on YouTube, to the point where like minimum they're getting 250. I've had some hit a couple thousand, even though I don't really have that many followers there. So just however that's getting out into the wild on TikTok, you're just reaching more people than at least what YouTube's doing for me.
Let me see.
I tell all my
Yeah, I
socials
can't
I'm just
TikTok.
18. I
Yeah,
believe
that's
it,
why I
Harley.
was laughing. I was gonna say you were talking. I'm just like randomly laughing, but it's because of right. It's because of these comments. They just pop up, man.
Harley from Epic Tube, everybody. Harley from Epic
Yeah.
Tube.
It'll be that had me cracking up. Oh man.
But yeah, are there any other questions or anything that you guys have for any of the three of us? Anything you're dying to know or anything like that?
Well, hold on. Like, so before that though, I've got something that's I think do you guys have any tips for like how you were just explaining the watermark deal with sharing between platforms? What are some other things to help the content creators who are coming up, like hashtags and tagging and things like that? Like, how does that benefit you? Like, I'm sure there's people in the chat that already know how that stuff works and a lot of it, but there's probably people out there that don't understand how that actually works and how that triggers algorithms and things like that. Is there any tips you can give these guys for anybody that's trying to make content now of how to get it more of an outreach?
Yeah, I didn't
play
know you
around.
wanted to talk. We need to talk.
Yeah, no, so you look at the camera like I think he's waiting for me. I was waiting for him.
Yeah.
Great minds,
so
the two of us.
It's something that I don't know if you feel the same way, Rob. It's something that I feel like I'm still trying to figure out as well. I feel like you're kind of always trying to figure that out. Is okay, what's the right tags? What's the right hashtags? How do I get MetaZoo to share my my Instagram story, right? How do you get more reach? And yeah, kind of researching some popular hashtags. You also kind of want to be careful because if you're going for a super popular hashtag, you're going to be in a sea of other content. So you need to kind of find that right balance of kind of where you're at and where your brand recognition is to where you're promoting, and still kind of do the ocean, but try to focus on some lakes as well, right? So find some smaller niches that you can focus on as well and get those followers, and then it kind of rolls from there. So at least for MetaZoo, always use hashtag MetaZoo, MetaZoo Games, MetaZoo Community, basically anything with MetaZoo in it. I also do TCG, which is kind of my ocean of just, there's going to be a bunch of TCG content. And then depending on what my videos are, hashtags that are related to the video. So if I'm talking about towers, TCG Tournament is one that other channels use. So hashtag TCG Tournament, that kind of gets into that niche of, okay, we're talking specifically about trading card game tournaments. For YouTube, tags don't really matter anymore like they used to. Tags are really about common misspellings, which MetaZoo is one of them. So if you're talking about MetaZoo, definitely use MetaZoo tags for certain things. So a lot of the ones that I use are just MetaZoo, MetaZoo Cryptid Nation, all of the core blocks, MetaZoo Wilderness, etc. And then if we're talking about any beasties like Isatalk, right? The subtitle generator is not going to get that right. So go in and either update your subtitles or update your tags with some common names that it's not going to get right, like Quetzalcoatlus, Isatalk, or anything from native, really. But beyond that, it's just finding all the different ways to reach an audience. So it's not even about the hashtags in a lot of cases. It's finding a bunch of Facebook groups, going to the Reddit and posting there, talking to about TikTok and Instagram, right? Going across different platforms. If you look at my shorts on those platforms, they actually have an end screen with the YouTube logo. So, okay, how do I get that conversion from where I'm promoting here to where I really want them for my long form content? So there's a lot of cool tricks and stuff you can do. There's a lot of videos out there on how to keep the interest of your viewers. I cannot stress this enough. Do not have a long intro. Yeah, cool. It's cool the first time. After that second time, people are like, okay, cool, I've seen this. This is 15 seconds long. No, right? So my rule of thumb is, 5 seconds or less for your intros. People know who you are, so don't constantly reintroduce who you are. in your videos, and spend a lot of time on that. So there's a lot of just kind of tips and tricks of, you know, the psychology around how you keep your viewers' attention that'll help as well.
At the same time, though, kind of going off of what he just said, I feel like it depends on the content, because with being like lore centric, I feel that because based off of what my stats on that I can see on YouTube, I get way more new viewers than I get returning viewers, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Just because of going behind the lore of what this is, or going in depth on the specific thing. So like, I always introduce who I am specifically on my cryptid theory videos, because a lot of times people are going to be like, well, what's this? Like, what cryptid theory? What do you mean? If it's just randomly is scrolling through YouTube. And so I actually, the last, I want to say 3 or 4, I actually say who I am, and then I say what cryptid theory is, what the playlist is, and then I immediately just go directly into it, and I don't address it again. It's about consistency, I feel. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. You can produce 1 or 2 videos a week or a month, and if they're actual quality videos, people are going to pay attention to them. So don't feel like you have to keep posting all of the time. Don't feel like you have to take a shortcut in order to get something up, because those little things are what people actually are going to notice, and that's what you would be potentially compared to somebody else. To get the word out, same thing Ian said, I would say share it on as many different socials that you can. Reddit is actually huge, because there's tons of different threads that you can use besides MetaZoo. I've started actually posting the cryptid theory and the cryptid specific beastie videos on like random Reddit threads, trying to get people interested in exactly what MetaZoo is. Whether it's a cryptid thread, or it's a gaming thread, a TCG thread. Like, I've been trying to find more obscure ones in order to try to introduce people, because if you can interest somebody in something the first time, they're going to come back to watch more of what you have to offer, because again, you were the one that introduced them to it. I will say that I've started using, specifically on YouTube, the tags. Useful sentences. Use actual search sentences that you think people are going to be using to find your content. Think to yourself, what is a question somebody's going to ask? Like, what does the White House look like? And it's going to pop up a video on what the White House is and what it looks like. So think of phrases, search keywords that you don't think of it as hashtags. That was my problem when I first started. I thought tags were hashtags. That's not how I think tags work on YouTube anymore. I think it's literally type in what you think the question is that's going to draw them to your content. What answer are you answering, or what question are you answering? Put that question as your tag. And I've noticed a good number of increase in traffic because of taking that approach, versus just using MetaZoo or MetaZoo lore or MetaZoo story. I'll be like, what is the MetaZoo story? What is the MetaZoo lore? What is the story behind chapter 1 of the MetaZoo comic? What is the MetaZoo comic? MetaZoo comic read. Like, I'll use things like that, trying to think, instead of just more like hashtag MetaZoo, hashtag MetaZoo comic. Now, I'll still use hashtags actually in the description of the video, but I usually use the same 5. I feel like I kind of created hashtag lorekeeper. And I, of course, always use hashtag Turmentic. I always hashtag my name, because it's going to pull you up when somebody searches your specific stuff. But I always stick to, like, I have my main 5 that I always use: MetaZoo, MetaZoo lore, MetaZoo story, lorekeeper, and Turmentic. And then I'll add more to it depending on what specific video it is. But I would encourage you to try to find a hashtag that not that I don't want to say you commandeer, but find a hashtag that you can make personal to you. Because, like, for example, hashtag lorekeeper, it was non-existent on Instagram until I started using it this past summer, and now it automatically pops up and stuff like. So it's an interesting way too, because I can tell somebody to go to Instagram and type in hashtag lorekeeper, and a lot of my stuff will pop up because of it. So there's different ways you kind of gotta think about it, I feel.
Like even your name, right? Like your name is very unique, so it's just makes it a little bit easier to find certain things. But yeah, man,
thumbnails are another big thing too. Like Harley said, long titles. If your title is way too long, it's not going to be able to be picked up by the algorithm or the search engine, really, because it's going to be trying to get all of those words into it. My rule of thumb is don't go over, depending on what the letter count is, don't go over like 6 to 8 words in a title. Because if you do, it's going to skew the search, I feel. So that's a good point, actually, Harley.
I had to bring in my backup mic because my lav mic did end up dying.
Hey, we thought it would. It's okay.
Whoops. And the worst part, I made fun of you, and I couldn't. It was like they didn't laugh. Oh no, I offended them. I was like, oh no, I'm just not working.
We couldn't hear you. You believe it's 30 what that you can actually put in a title?
What's that?
Responding to Harley.
It's a very interesting question though, because even today, Rob, I was sending you multiple thumbnails, being like, "Which one?" I'm still playing with thumbnails. I'm still playing. I've just recently started using a new title scheme, to try to be not so clickbaity, but try to catch people's attention more, because the ones that I was using, had a lot of information in them. You'd have to know what MetaZoo was and what you were looking at, right? So you need to, if you're trying to bring in new people, you also kind of need to balance that and say, okay, how do I get new people's interest that have no idea what MetaZoo is, and get them to click on this, and then that is their draw into MetaZoo. So there's never I feel like I'm never done learning about how to properly get people's attention or properly run a channel or whatnot, which is fun. It's part of the fun.
I still run into that same problem with my cryptid theory videos. Like, I had to go on to the thumbnail and actually add MetaZoo to it, because if you just see something and it says cryptid theory and you have no idea what MetaZoo is, like, even if you do know what MetaZoo is, you're gonna have no idea what that is.
Yep. And
so, like, why are you going to click on it? It just looks. So I had to actually go in and I had to add the MetaZoo name to all of the thumbnails, and I had to go in, like you were saying, and I had to get something that would drive people there to make them know that it's MetaZoo content. Because if you take the MetaZoo off of cryptid theory, you have no idea exactly what it's talking about. Like, oh, it's this guy over here talking about cryptids. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm still trying to figure things out when it comes to YouTube. Don't even ask me about TikTok. Don't even ask me about TikTok.
I just throw stuff up and it does better. I literally put no effort in there and I'm doing better there. It's like, come on.
Mike actually was the one that gave me the idea for the Who's That Beastie. And that's why I tag TCG Island in every single one that I make. And they honestly, it's really strange. They perform way better on Instagram than they do on TikTok. Like on Instagram, and it's interesting too because they actually perform better as shorts on YouTube versus TikTok. And I thought that would be like the perfect TikTok type of content. But again, I feel old because I guess I just don't get TikTok. I can make some banging reels though on Instagram, tell you what, but for some reason that same reel won't have the same type of performance on TikTok. I don't get it.
Shout out rivals.
What actually have content creators more than anything still? Lore, gameplay, market updates, or box breaks? Ooh, that's a good question.
It's only one good answer though. It doesn't matter what people want. It's what interests you. What are you passionate about? Right. So if you're asking for yourself, you need to find what you care about, what's going to keep you coming back to create content. right? It's not about necessarily the viewers. You hope viewers are going to want to watch what you're passionate about, which is why we watch Rob.
I literally just had a conversation with somebody about that today. Actually, It's about finding your lane. You know, finding what suits you the best, what fits you the most. You know, while you guys sit here and discuss content, you know, I'm gonna just sit here and listen to you guys. You know, but like for the main part of it, you know, when you really think about it, it's whatever comes natural to you. So yeah, that's Jake Murray. That's Rivals, everyone. But big part of TCG Island and MetaZoo Island, man. He's really good guy. I know you know we handle the box breaks over there, man. Well, there's a lot of Facebook groups that do that. But market updates, man. I'd say that's Discord. Like that's primarily Discord, but gameplay, I would say, is probably with the surge of playing. Just like literally people play now that, for one, I never thought I would play, but there's a lot of people I know that play that I never would have guessed would have played. And and they started playing with MetaZoo. So that's why, honest to God, that's why the weird thing is when they announced the TCG client, out of everything they had listed, that hit me the most. That and the SCP set. Those two, well, a lot of things did, but those two things I was like, wow, okay, that's going to be, because with the TCG client, and I think we were talking about this just before we started this, freaking, you know, even thinking about how that's going to operate, logging in on your phone and then you jump into a lobby. Is it, I even imagined it. What if it's like a bunch of people in there and it's like a Call of Duty old Modern Warfare lobby and everybody's talking back and forth. And then all of a sudden it shuts off real quick. And then you go into your match, you get paired up with somebody. I think that'd be pretty, that's pretty freaking.
Those memories give me anxiety.
All I see in my head is Stone Mountain just showing up in the chat room. All right, guys, we gotta go. 1-2, we gotta go now.
Oh man,
I don't know if any of you know Stone Mountain 64, but that's immediately who popped in my head.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, dude, that would be freaking awesome, man.
Yeah,
but it'll be a much easier route than tabletop. I mean, yeah, you can get tabletop down, and once you figure it out and you can navigate it, just like anything else. Once you figure out how to navigate it, it's pretty freaking simple, and it's just repetitive. Playing one online tournament, you'll have it down. Like it's so easy, and but knowing that you don't have to get on TTS, you don't have to hit at LTP, looking for somebody to play and things like that. You can just jump on there and pairs you up. Well, at least if that's how it worked, if it just paired you with somebody and you just played, that would be a freaking epic change, man. So yeah, gameplay content is major. In my opinion, I think it's huge.
I kind of want to actually reinforce what Ian said though, where if you are a content creator, make what content you want. There are so many, especially, and it's been so amazing the last, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks, seeing all of these people getting inspired to actually start making content, start posting shorts, start posting box openings, things like that. It's been really awesome to see all of these people joining in this content creator community for MetaZoo, but don't feel like you are obligated to make any sort of content that you don't want to make. If you want to do just box openings, do box openings. If you want to do where you break down certain cards, break the cards down. Gameplay. If you want to do lore, please, more people cover lore.
I want someone to be your rival. I do.
Well, that's the thing though, is that I wouldn't even look at them as a rival, because I'm very vocal about this. My whole thing is lifting the community up. So if you are a content creator that focuses on lore, awesome. What can I do to help you? You're a content creator that actually does just box openings. Okay, what can I do to help you? Because the more people that we help, the more we help each other, the more eyes are on MetaZoo, the bigger this community becomes. And that's why we make the content we make, is because we believe in this franchise. We believe that MetaZoo is here. So why not work together to, again, like I always say, lift everyone up? Because that's what the name of the game is. Like, it's not about any individual one of us succeeding. It's about all of us succeeding. All of us succeeding as a community to make sure that this thing is here for decades. So if you have any questions, honestly, we said this last time. If you have any questions, and this is for the people who are watching this, not during the live, but going back and watching this, reach out to me. My email is in the description, turmentic@gmail.com. Email me, ask me questions, find me on Discord. Like, I want to help this community grow to where it does overtake Pokemon. And like, I don't know if I don't know if I went about this last time, but people make certain friends that I have make fun of me because I'm very vocal about how I think MetaZoo is going to overtake Pokemon at some point. And it's because when Pokemon first came out, everybody picked their favorite Pokemon. With cryptids, these are stories that we grew up with. Like even silly ones like Rocky Mountain barking spiders. Do you understand how much I lost my mind laughing when I realized that Rocky Mountain barking spiders was literally a nod to the old grandpa joke of, oh, must be a barking spider after somebody farts. Like little things like that. And so you don't have to pick a favorite cryptid because you grew up with these stories of going hunting and having stories about snipe, or living up north and hearing stories of the Jersey Devil. So like, these are part of your own personal lore. These are part of your own personal story. And that's why I feel like this franchise is going to succeed. And then I'm not saying anything negative about Pokemon or Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh or any other TCG out there. I'm just literally saying there's a personal connection that no other TCG, in my opinion, besides Pokemon, has ever been able to tap. And I think that there is unlimited potential with MetaZoo to tap that same type of feeling that you get. And that's why I'm like, I lift up the community. We need to work together. I mean, everybody's like, oh, whatever, all kumbaya. Well, yeah. I mean, if we want to lift this community up and we want to all succeed, it should be about all of us. It shouldn't be about any individual.
I joke about rivals, but I completely agree with that, which is why
you're my rival.
We started, yeah, right, exactly. I do want to provide a real answer.
My daily stream, or my annual stream rant.
I do want to provide a real answer to ironically named rivals with the question about what more content is needed, and I think the order there was right. I don't know if you can find it and pin it again, but the first one was lore. And the way I think of this is, what does MetaZoo need more content for? How many people can you name that do lore? I can name one. Right. So, yeah, lore is definitely
there are other people out there that actually still cover lore. I still consider Demon Fergus to actually cover lore. Okay. I know that Argos at one point read the comics. I know that there are a handful of other content creators that might not still be creating content that read the comics and covered them. I mean, D the storyteller, she is way far my superior when it comes to actual cryptid lore and things of that nature. But yes, 100%.
Is D creating content?
She does update the cryptid history thing, so I would say yes. Okay. But actively creating videos and stuff, she doesn't really have time to at the moment.
I can name 3. I'm educated. Gameplay, I can name a few, right? Market updates, I can name a lot, and actually I don't give to, I don't know if I can swear on this, I don't care about market updates at all, right? That's I'm not here to invest. I'm here to enjoy the community and the game and whatnot, right? So again, that's just one that's not going to target me, but I can name a lot. Box breaks, I can name so many, it makes your head spin, right? So if you're going to get into the last 2, market updates and box breaks, what sets you apart? What makes you different? What's your niche, right? What makes people want to watch you open stuff over someone else? So if that's where your interest lies, which is perfectly fine, know that you're in a saturated area and that you need to find a way to set yourself apart. That's all I had to say on that.
But again, I want to stress, and I know we've said this, quality over quantity. Do not feel
I
like you
slightly
have to
disagree.
push out a ton of content if it's not content that you believe in.
I agree with that. So the only thing I would disagree with is don't try to be perfect, especially if you're new.
Oh,
Try
100%.
to do one improvement every video and avoid burnout, essentially. And I think that's kind of what you're getting at too, is don't try to push as much content as possible. You will burn out. The alternative is the same too, is don't try to be utterly perfect. You will burn out. So just try to make one new improvement every video, build upon that every time you edit your next video, and you'll get to a much better spot. You know, it'll take a couple months, a year, whatever. But you're not going to be ramping up too fast. You're going to figure out what your weekly schedule looks like. And this is something I failed at early on. So this is something that I know what that burnout was, to the point where I was trying to do just everything I could. And I would literally be up until 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure my video was out at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then like, it was just this whole mess with my kids and stuff as well, because then I'd just be so tired that day. Just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that, but you know, one improvement every video I think is the right thing to do there.
That's actually solid advice, and that's honestly what I strived for when I first started out. And it's kind of cool because if you go back and you actually watch like the first 4 comic videos, and then you watch the next comic, and then you watch the cryptid theory, you can actually start seeing, like you're saying, those small improvements. Like like you said, don't think you have to do it perfect. Do it to the best of your ability, but always, like you said, challenge yourself to make it better next time.
Yep.
Even if you think it's perfect, challenge yourself to figure out some way of just some small little tiny touch. Even if it's just like your logo popping up for a second and then going away. Always improve. And that's the beauty of what we do, is that and again, there's tons of us out here. There's tons of people who, if you have questions, if you want to learn how to fade things or make something come up, or like if you need a specific PNG for a specific video or something, the resources are there. And that's one of the things I love about this community, is that if I ask something, like if I ask Ian for something, he sends it to me. If I need to get a specific PNG, I hit up MetaZoo, because MetaZoo has like literally every PNG of every illustration of anything MetaZoo ever existed. And I'm not even exaggerating too. Like, that's why he's laughing. Like, find your resources, find the people, and like one of my biggest pieces of advice to any sort of content creator, whether they are an established content creator or not, find somebody you can bounce ideas off of. Don't think you have to do it alone. Don't think you have to do it by yourself. Find those people that you trust, that you're like, hey, honest opinion, what do you think of this? I mean, like Mike and I tonight, it took us like an hour and a half to get the thumbnail like the way that we wanted.
Oh yeah, just little.
We were on here and he would make little tweaks, and then he'd send it to me, and then little tweaks, and then and like, I mean,
there's probably
always
15,
try to improve.
15 versions. Yeah.
The
slightest move over, the slightest down, the slightest twist. Like, just keep doing it. All right. Like even that video. I mean, I'm not a big content creator. You know, I'm a partner. I do deal more with the sales. I'm dealing more with, I interact with the community. I'm all over Facebook. I'm in every group. I try to talk to as many people as possible. But on the screen right now, Turmentic and Ian are the like actual content creators. I do not call myself a content creator, even though that's what we're doing right now. Maybe this is my step into it, you know, and I enjoy it. But I'm definitely more, you know, more just person to person talking and going into groups and hyping people up and, you know, letting information out and things like that. But one thing I was going to say is that, you know, you may think, oh, this isn't good enough, or you've seen somebody else's stuff. And I can tell you now, just from like videos that I've made, you know, going back and looking at the first ones I made to now looking at the ones I make now, and literally just YouTubing or asking people for advice and things like that. And no matter what, you're going to get better. It's inevitable. If you just keep doing it, you'll get better. Just like anything, practice makes perfect. It just do it. Just don't, like they're saying, don't try to make it perfect every time, because you will make it better the next time and the next time and the next time and the next time. And before you know it, it's just going to be, you're going to look back at your old stuff and be like, wow, I used to like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I made content for 3 months, okay, before I realized that because I still, again, my entire channel I run off of my phone. I use the app Video Shop. I was making content for 3 months before I realized that I could go into the actual music that I was putting in there and adjust the music volume, not my actual speaking volume or something else that I had added. And that change, right? Like, that's the type of, like, always, if I would have messed with that, if I would have pushed that one button, I would have found that out 3 months before. So, and that's just something that I wish I would have known about, that ability of what I was doing when I actually first started, instead of it being July, when I realized, oh, I can lower the music real quick and actually people can hear me. And that's if I would have, and that's the thing, is if I would have actually, there's a couple people I know who are bigger content creators who have actually used Video Shop before. They used to use it exclusively, and if I would have asked them, they would have been able to tell me. So that's kind of what I'm getting at, is like, just always ask questions too. Just like, because I mean, I'm never going to get upset if somebody asks me a question, unless I've answered it like 15 times, literally right that second. But that's just because I had it.
It's funny that you say that too, because I'm still learning stuff. And if you're editing videos, if you're getting your content ready, and you keep finding yourself asking, there must be a better way to do this, take the 20 minutes, half hour to Google it, figure it out, ask people. It's going to save you hours in the long run. It wasn't until I think less than a month ago that I finally was like, you know what, I'm going to figure out how to take my recorded video, which are like, an hour long, and automatically trim out all the silences, because I do a lot of takes. I'm not a one-shot kind of channel, right? I've been manually editing all of my silences out and like doing all the cuts and whatnot, and now it's just automatic. And it's literally a 30-second process to do it. You have to use a couple different, Adobe tools to do it. It's not like built into Premiere, but it saves me. I saved an hour off of every video that I'm editing, because to edit all that out, you have to watch the whole thing. So yeah, it's been interesting, and it's actually made for some really fun bloopers as well.
He sent me actually one of the clips today, and it was very entertaining. I'll say that. Did my man ever actually make some sort of a sub thing on the YouTube? The bloopers would be worth the actual membership by itself. I'm not even kidding.
Soon.
I'm just saying, like, do it for the bloopers. If anything, do it for the bloopers, because they are gold. Lost my mind. It was amazing. Well, that was a good question, man. Wow,
it's a great question. I like talking about content creation. It's it's one of these things, like you get on a live like this or a call like this with people. You're like, okay, we're going to talk about MetaZoo, right? These are MetaZoo fans. And then you get a question like that. You're like, no, I really care about this. I didn't even realize how much I actually have to talk about in this area.
Well, it's because you're just always learning. You're always learning new tricks, new things. Or like, and it is honestly surprising to me, the stuff that I mean, like, I don't know how I actually make what I make with my phone.
I don't either.
I'm not even kidding.
Why?
Like, and I'm not trying to be
it's not how.
It's not how.
It's not how. It's why. Why?
Because it's easy. I know how to do it. I can bust out a video in 3 hours and do it on my phone. And it's one of those where the quality of it is just as good, especially since, I mean, I went out and got the new iPhone 14 specifically for the camera. And this camera is just as good almost as a $800 to $1,200 camera. And I have all of the ability of editing things, of putting voiceovers over, of adding music, of interlaying photos, all sorts of, like, literally just on my phone. And I that's what that's pretty what I'm just trying to get at, is that if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
I'm not special. I don't have some special ability or gift or anything. It's literally just using the tools that are in front of you and doing it. Though I think the biggest hurdle that most people have when it comes to content creation is literally just making the content.
Yeah,
Because there are times where I don't want to film myself talking about something. I need to go do this. Or there's times where it's like, I don't have time to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm tired. I just got off work. But then I start doing it. I get into the theory. I get into actually what I'm talking about. And I get super excited while I'm actually making the video at that point. And it reminds me of why I do it. And it's because at the end of the day, I do enjoy it. You have to find what works for you, though. Like you said, don't fight it. If you're fighting it, it's not doing what you want it to do. If you're having to fight it, it's not going to do what you want it to do if you have to fight it. All it's going to do is it's going to just give you a bad taste in your mouth, and it's going to make you not want to continue. And I want to encourage every single person that's in this live right now and watches this video in the future and watches all like my other videos in the future, create content. Like just like Nike says, just do it. Because the moment you do it and the moment you realize that, hey, I put this together, you get that feeling of that accomplishment. And on top of it, you'll realize that you can do it. And just because I encourage anyone and everyone to make content. You have a literal computer in your hand, on your phone, make the content. You can do it. All right, second rant for the stream.
Hey, shout out Super Galactic.
Super Galactic. I just want to say one thing.
Rob, this is Super Galactic. Just
what's up, Jared? Super Galactic. That's my boss. It's where I work. If you ever on the Outer Banks, all the way on the furthest east point in North Carolina and North America and the United States, come and say hi. I'd like to shake your hand. Southern hospitality, baby.
He said,
but yeah,
Mike's just kicking it.
I feel very fortunate to actually work for Jared at Super Galactic. He's fully supportive of what I'm doing. And I can't tell you how amazing it is to actually go into work and be able to talk to people on the daily about MetaZoo. I've lost count of how many people since I started working there in October I've introduced the MetaZoo. And I always give the people the same like 45-second to a minute rundown that I did last week about 1,000 years ago. There was a veil put in place that separated humans from magic. That veil was shattered in 2021, and all that magic infused itself back into humanity, turning people into cryptids. Cryptids started to appear, but the big takeaway was that everyone was able to cast magic. It's now 2031, and the United States is now known as Cryptid Nation. It's a hodgepodge of what it once was. Any city that still exists is protected by a veil itself or very powerful casters. The story of MetaZoo follows Sam Sinclair and company as he makes his way through Cryptid Nation to figure out exactly what his destiny is. And I've perfected that because of working there. And I can't tell you, it's so amazing to be able to talk to somebody that has never heard about MetaZoo and explain that to them. That's that same pitch that I just gave right now. And you can see the light bulb in their eye pop up. Or you can see that like little twinkle where they're like, oh, I want to know more. Like, so I'm very, very like, thank you, Jared, because I love having that ability of being able to talk about MetaZoo to so many new people. And I can't wait for the summer when we have so many tourists down here too, because I will get thousands of people this summer. I will introduce them to MetaZoo, and I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Hey,
anyway,
shout out to Zach.
Rant for the stream.
Shout out to Zach Zark. Last time we were on here, we were talking about people that went through like all kinds of hoops and things like that to go to qualifiers and things like that. And Zach actually flew out of state to get to his qualifier and stuff. So shout out to him. Yeah, it's his Facebook user, but he put his name. So yeah, that's you, brother. Big shout out to you, man. That's the one thing too, when people started, I know I'm going off in like left field with this, but it's like a, like how you were saying you think, you know, MetaZoo is going to be bigger than Pokemon and things like that. And like, you know, a lot of the things are, it's almost similar in a sense, but like, you know, at the same time different. But the beginning of the Pokemon song says what? I want to be the very best. So it's like, honestly, when MetaZoo, you know, when they released that information about having to do the qualifier at an actual LGS, that is like what came to my mind. It's all like, okay, who's gonna really show? Who's really for this? And like things like that, man. Things like that, literally flying out of state for a qualifier is just, that's dedication, man. So that's awesome. I don't know.
I just want to bring up the fact that, like you guys were talking earlier, 500 people actually tried to register for the water tower. And that is phenomenal, in my opinion, because there were only a handful of large tournaments. So in my opinion, that's somewhere around 400 or so qualified to register through smaller tournaments, smaller gatherings that were sanctioned. And it wasn't, because like, I mean, you think 500, like, okay, cool. That technically could have been, in theory, like 12 qualifier events. But in actuality, I bet that number is closer to probably like 60, 75 qualifier events.
Yep, my qualifier event was 4 people.
I had 4 people at mine as well. And so when you start thinking of it in that exponential way instead, it takes a different tone, and it's kind of more impressive in my opinion. And I mean, there were, like you said, there were tons of people that had, I mean, Dad came down to Super Galactic for the qualifier. He had to drive 3.5 hours for it. If we wouldn't have been able to find an MZO to hold one there, we were going to actually hold something in Richmond, and I was going to have to drive to Richmond. I mean, and I was fully prepared to drive 3.5 hours to Richmond for that qualifier. So that's super impressive. Taking a plane though, I love that. Taking a plane to actually go to a qualifier. That's crazy.
I mean,
that is
like I drove an hour and a half. I drove an hour and a half to mine. Where MetaZoo was that he was late actually. Sorry to call you out, MetaZoo.
You just the bus,
I heard that's a normal thing though. So it's like fashionably late for MetaZoo. But
I'm talking about my live streams, Mike.
What? What'd you say?
Stop talking about my live streams.
No.
I'm fashionably late to every live stream I set up, at least by
like. Oh, dude, I'm just as guilty as that, man. So trust me,
I'm impressed I haven't knocked over my camera in the last 2 lives we've done, because that usually always happens at least once.
We're not done yet.
Oh, God. Yeah, right. Don't put that juju on me, Ricky Bobby. You drove 7 hours just to film a qualifier. Get it, Harley, dude. And see, that's the type of dedication that some of the content creators in the community have, because like that's not the first time that Harley's actually driven somewhere in order to cover an event. Like, because I know that you go to, and we'll talk more about this next week when you're actually here. But like, I know that he goes to like what is Gubu all the time, and like you're just and it's traveling hours in order to make the content. Like, I mean, him going all the way up to Salem. I mean, and it was only an hour trip for Ann, but like Ann going to Salem, or like the Demon Fergus going to Salem, or like myself going to Mothman Festival, and like Hyperbole going to Mothman Festival. The Smoke Squad, I think, was at Mothman. Like, so it's really I wish I had more opportunity to actually travel to go to all the different events. But it's really awesome that there's always some sort of a presence at even the smaller events like Mothman or Cryptid Con or something like that. There's always some sort of MetaZoo presence that's there that is from the community. Like, it was nice actually at Cryptid Con actually seeing so many people as well too. So it's and I had to take a flight to a qualifier though. That is
just crazy. Can't let it go.
I am still on that.
Yeah, it's impressive.
I wish I knew what the person's name was, but there was one person that I saw a couple of months ago that flew from Canada to Georgia, I think, for a tournament. And like that, Man, I love your dedication to it. I want to go out of the country. I've never been out of the country before. The more you know. Hey, we're supposed to know. We're supposed to be like learning the stuff about ourselves. So like, I'll be the first to tell you, I've never been out of the country, unfortunately.
I've never been out of the continent.
I've been to every state though, except for 3.
You got me beat there.
Yeah, I used to tour.
Right, is it Alaska? Is one of them's Alaska, right? Because you'd have to go to another country to get to that one.
Alaska, Hawaii, and Montana are the 3 I haven't been to.
Jeez. No, I
used to tour. I toured children's theater for like 2 years, and we had a 18 or a 16 passenger van that we had our full set costumes, sound equipment, everything inside of it, and we just drove all over the country doing shows for kids. For the chibbies. For the chibbies.
Yeah, no, I mean, y'all are talking about country out of the country. I've been, well, out of continental US, yeah, just Hawaii. But like, dude, I was prior military though, dude. So I've been to Kuwait, Qatar, Iraq, Germany, Pakistan. I've been to, I think that's it. Yeah, just that right there. But
so you got me beat.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. You know what? One weird thing about Iraq is you think it's all sand, but it's like concrete ground. Like it's weird. It's like hard as a rock. Yeah, it's crazy. But Kuwait is like super, super white sand and it's hard to walk through and it reflects, man. And it is when it's 140 out. Oh, that's rough, man. You don't even sweat when you're outside, but then the second you walk into AC, you're just pouring sweat, man. It's wild. It's so different. The best way, whenever somebody asks me what does the heat feel like in Iraq and stuff like that, take a blow dryer and hold it right in front of your face.
Oof.
And like, because it's windy, so that heat hits you, man. Oh, it's
it's a dry heat too, isn't it?
Oh, it's dry. It's so dry, man. But yeah, let's hold on. What products are you guys most excited about for 2023? Topps Chrome, SCP, War because of the introduction of code cards and things like that, and the PFP set for me.
That was quick. He was like,
he's like, I got this prepared.
That's what I deal with. That's what I deal with. You guys are the content. You guys can talk about that all day. Bring another partner on here. We could talk product all day. But no, it's I don't know. Out of all those though, I mean, I would say Topps Chrome is probably going to have one of the biggest impacts. I think that's going to be huge, man. I mean, Chrome will be major. SCP, you know what's really crazy is my daughter plays an SCP game.
All right.
I don't know what it's called. Probably SCP. I'm not sure, but it's literally all that. It's crazy how once MetaZoo started bringing up SCP, because I never heard about SCP until MetaZoo started talking about it.
Same.
Now my freaking kid is playing a game on the phone, and I know she didn't hear about it from MetaZoo. So that stuff's popular. I feel like that's going to be a major hit too. I think that's going to be huge, man. I'm really excited about that. Let me see.
All right, what about you, Ian? I'll go
Funko. Funko eBay. End of the year.
Oh yeah. Funko's going to be huge.
October. It's not it. It's just like, there's so many I could say. Core sets are going to happen, right? So yeah, I'm excited for them, but I'm not going to say I'm excited for them. And in terms of Revive and Bear Walker and whatnot, like I feel like that's not, they're cool, but they're not new, right? So what I'm excited about is new stuff. So the one that I've really been waiting for since June we first got teased is Funko. I think it's going to be something that's highly collectible, highly sought after. I am sad we have to wait until October. I believe it's October for that.
So New York
Comic-Con, yeah. Which makes sense. So it'll probably be eBay Live release, but yeah, no, a lot of hype, and it's something that I feel is gonna go beyond the core MetaZoo group.
Fair, that's true.
Yep.
All right. Well,
That's it.
first one, right off the bat, it's going to be the book. I want the book so bad, just to see what the entirety of Cryptid Nation storyline is.
Mhm.
Because I want to go and I want to actually compare it to some of the theories that I've come up with. I want to see. I think once we have full clarification too on the character growth of Adam, Sam, and Rose, along with
Mhm.
M and Love, and all of these people that we've come to find with these cards. Like I've always said, investment in the character is going to actually bring longevity to the franchise. So the book, hands down, is the biggest thing I am looking forward to this year. On that same token, I would say then the second biggest one would be the Seven Seas comics. I'm
Mhm.
excited to see new comics. I'm excited to see what the story line for the transitional set is. Exactly what takes place. I wonder if the transitional sets potentially could ever be expanded on as well too, where it's not just a one standalone set. Eventually, there could be something that's another tie-in down the road to it. Funko Pops for sure, because I mean I'm a huge Funko. I don't hear. I'm gonna
Hey,
move
we
the camera
can't
real
see him
quick.
in the shot right now, but there's a
I'm
cone.
a huge Funko Pop collector. If you can't tell, like all of my pops, I made all those shelves in 2020.
For your pops, right?
So I'm a huge Funko collector. Cannot wait for the Funkos. Those I will be getting every single one of them that I can. And I mean, honestly, next to that, it's going to be the TV shorts and the TV show itself. Really excited actually for the shorts to come out. I think that the IP, the shorts itself is going to grow the IP in such a way that it's going to be the exponential growth that actually opens it up to hundreds of thousands of people. Because there's something different versus looking at an image versus watching something that's animated. And even if these shorts are only 30, 45 seconds long, look at what they were doing originally. Blizzard was when Overwatch first came out. If you remember, like 5-6 years ago, it was little tiny clips, and then they actually came out with like 5 to 8 minute long short videos, if you will, of some of the Overwatch characters. And I know that we know that the TV show is going to be based around like the Castlevania medium from Netflix, but I can imagine them releasing a handful of very short 45-second to a minute long clips and then releasing like 3 to 5, 6 to 8 minute long short videos, if you will, to lead up to the TV show itself. And I think a lot of those shorts are going to be backstory of leading up to the veil being put in place, or the direct aftermath of the veil being put in place. It could be ancient humans that existed 10,000 years before the veil was put in place. Like, there's going to be so much because I don't know if they're going to focus on the MetaZoo storyline proper of like 2031 and Sam. I think it's going to be a lot of backstory in preparation for the actual TV show. So the shorts, hands down, I'm super excited about. And then I already talked about how excited I am for the PFP boxes. Wait, did you say bookshelf? More like Funko shelf. I mean, some of it. I mean, this is a real. I had to prove that that was a real bookcase last time too. People thought it was a green screen, which that was hilarious. And everybody lost their mind when it was an Animorph book. Here, let's know which one am I going to pull today? Oh, look, it's Marco. It's the android.
There we go.
There we go. That actually is a good one. It's the first time they actually meet the.
He's gonna read it.
Oh,
He stops the live. You guys keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, this is a good one. Hold on.
yeah, this is a good one. Well, this is the first time they actually meet the robots that had come to Earth like thousands of years ago that were pacifists, and the Chi. They're called the Chi. That's right. Ah, dude, this is a good one. Man, I really wish that they would make an Animorphs TV show and actually do it justice, not like they did
Was
in
there
the
not?
mid-90s.
I thought there was one.
There was one, and it was really bad.
So you
I
just
still
like
love it 'cause it's Animorphs.
refuse to believe it exists still?
I mean, oh, Hasbro, you just came back. You just missed the Animorphs, man. I'm so sorry.
You did.
But yeah, no, hands down, book, and then the comics for Seven Seas, and then the shorts, and then the PFP boxes, and none of those in any specific order except for the 3 of them in the PFP boxes by itself.
And then
'Cause-
Fane also mentioned in the chat HeroQuest 3.0 comic.
Yeah.
Yes,
right up
that
your
is
alley.
Okay, well, it's going to be interesting because, like I was saying in the HeroQuest video I made, I think HeroQuest 2.0, and HeroQuest 3.0 are all the same set. And I know they're different sets. I know they came out differently, but I think it is the HeroQuest base set, and it was just released in 3 different phases. I don't think we'll get a full idea of what HeroQuest is until we get that 3rd part, because it's a literal missing piece that we're not going to be able to. I mean, look at, like, from HeroQuest 1 to HeroQuest 2, we had no idea about the Cardinal Demon Kings. We learned about the Cardinal Demon Kings in HeroQuest 2.0. But those same cards, I feel, correlate to the original HeroQuest. And so that's what gave me the idea of it being a 3-part base set. Especially when you start actually looking at some of the card counts too, because, like, the first HeroQuest set only had 65 cards, I think. HeroQuest 2.0 had like 38 or so. So in
39
theory,
on 2. 39 on 2, yeah.
And then, so in theory, 3.0 could still be a 60, 70 card set, and it would still be the same amount card-wise as a base set, like Cryptid Nation or Nightfall, Wilderness. It would have that many cards in that core set. So I don't know. I'm really interested. I am interested for 3.0 because I think it's going to answer a lot of questions, and it's going to be the first time that we have answers to the questions about HeroQuest.
And I think it's cool they're going to be in booster box form. So that's going to be cool.
I wonder if we might get some sort of a box topper out of it too. Because I know that they don't want to do box toppers with core sets, except for core sets. But I don't know if that's been asked because it's a secondary special set.
Yeah.
Because I know that we got a box topper with one of the eBay boxes.
Yep.
So
and we're getting it with the PFPs.
Not the tops, but the actual eBay boosters, yeah.
So I'm wondering if we might get some sort of a box topper for HeroQuest 3.0. That'd be interesting. Jot that down. We got to ask next MetaZoo hour.
HeroQuest 3.
Oh my God! He actually is writing it down. I love you.
Oh, yeah.
I usually keep like a digital note of all the things I need to ask at the next MetaZoo hour.
I always forget. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, I get too busy reading stuff, and I forget what my question is.
That's why I started keeping digital notes so I can just copy and paste them when the time comes. Because I'm usually working too, or it's like, noon and I have to go feed the kids and stuff, and then Mike's like, "Hey, MetaZoo hour starts now." I'm like, "Okay, well, I need a quick way to be able to drop questions in and not pay attention. I'll go back and read it all later."
No, truth. That's truth.
Yep.
Or at least go in there and drop your question real quick because you're timed out for about 5 minutes. So, which is smart that they do that, because if not, it would be flooded with too many questions, and it actually gives them an opportunity, ability to answer them. So, but yeah, it's always like, no, okay, I'll sit here and just read stuff for 5 minutes. That's okay. I think I can't remember what chat it was, but there was one chat the other day that actually, I think it had like an hour cooldown. I don't remember which one it was. It was in the Discord, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm not going to go on that channel.
Is that when things got heated about the towers, people that were chosen?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Because it was honestly like 2 days ago. I don't remember what it was about.
I can't think what that would have been. I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, anybody else have any other questions or anything though? Because I've been talking way too much.
We like it. We like you talking. That's why we watch you.
Oh. Well, I
At
want
night.
you to stay informed.
At night, I light a candle and I just close my eyes and lay down and listen to you. No, I don't. That's just weird.
You're not the first
He
person to say that.
took that back so fast. I'm gonna clip it. I'm clipping it.
My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching The Last of Us."
Well, I'm flattered. Thank you. I love you too. Can't wait to see you in Ohio.
Too honest. No, Fane caught me.
Yep, that's Ann is the one that actually gives me all the news. That is exactly right, Harley.
No, I do mean to.
Oh, before I
Well,
forget,
getting
because
to
this was the big thing, and I'm gonna say this probably over the next month. Going back to the actual water tower, if you are competing in the water tower, make sure you submit your deck online. You cannot check your deck in at the event. It has to be submitted online. So repeat that. Tell everybody. Tell your mom. Tell the guy that works down the street. Just make sure that is repeated often and many times, because yes, you have to submit your spell book before the event starts.
I'm really upset my mom didn't tell me she was competing at the water tower.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, well, she told me, but I mean, it's okay.
That just reminded me about,
Burn.
made me think to go door to door to tell people, and it made me think of your video where you're going door to door to tell people about MetaZoo.
Hi, I'm here to talk about the good word. I hadn't watched that one in a minute.
I forgot about that video.
You know the good word of squonk.
Yeah, that's it. A good word of squawk. That's it. Oh,
I
man.
actually still have. Actually, hold on.
I mentioned Last of Us. He's like, "Oh, I don't want spoilers. I'm out. Gonna go watch it."
I actually haven't taken the cover off of the Book of Squonk.
That's amazing.
There we go.
Bro, it took me like an honest 4 or 5 months to take the conspiracy web down. I started falling in love with the conspiracy web, but it was like, nah, I need to be able to see my pops. But I have all the papers. I saved all of them, so I can make a new one if I have to. But yeah, Book of Squonk, it actually does exist. That was the prop that I used in the short.
That's amazing.
Have a good night, Justice. Let's see. All right.
Thanks for swinging through, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah,
a lot of it.
Anything else?
Yeah. A lot of it, man, is the comments, man. You guys commenting, asking questions, things like that. That's definitely keeping it. Definitely what keeps it going. I think we
covered pretty much anything I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's going to discuss, their water secrets, and nobody's going to.
I told you, 6 water babies and 34 water.
I can tell you right now that the entire deck that I had built literally has to change. So I know for a fact, and I've already heard that from at least 5 or 6 different people. So yeah, it's like, I feel like there's going to be, it's a twist, man. It's a twist. I think it's,
I'm curious. They haven't announced the fourth wall items yet that are going to be in play, and I'm curious if they're going to mix that up some way as well and be like, oh yeah, by the way, you get 4 times boost on your fourth wall effect. So then it just kind of like, okay, I just built this new deck, and then you have to kind of go back to the drawing board a little bit.
I thought they did release what the active terras are.
The terras, but not the fourth wall items.
Oh, okay.
So like fishing pole. Well, that's Amakut, that's Frost, but you know what I mean.
Bottle, bottle of water or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like that's actually why. Like I can see bottle of water or something like that actually being listed because of Frogman. But yeah, you're right.
Be prepared for another shakeup, possibly.
Ooh, 100%.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, is they're probably not going to give us that info until probably about 2 weeks out.
Yeah. And that's good. Let's
keep you on your toes.
That just means everybody's going to build a deck, practice it, and then have to modify it, like you said, like the last 2 weeks, and then run it again.
That's what I like about the towers is the fact that you're literally having to mess with an aura type. I never would have ever built a water deck. I play lightning, so but now that I've played water, I know what water is capable of to an extent, and then Earth Tower is going to come. I'll find out what that is. Then I'll, every aura, and then all of a sudden I may switch from lightning to flame because of one of the towers, man. It's
because Casey
Jones. CN2 pack.
Casey Jones.
There you go. Get that Mothman. Actually, man, dude, ripping like just base set Cryptid Nation, dude. That'll always be my jam, man. I have so many good memories from CN1, like that. Just watching the market go like this, and man, we would go through 3-4 boxes a night, just going, oh my gosh, man, and it never got old to pull them off, man, dude. Never get old. Never. It's just, man. Yeah.
Well, it did get a little old because Michael Lara kept pulling all of them off, man. But
he has that kind of luck, man. Shout out Michael Lara. Larry.
Shout out Michael Lara, dude.
Boogeyman.
Right, I'm not even kidding you. We'd go through 3 boxes in a night, and Mr. Lara would pull like 2 or 3 Mothman, and he wouldn't buy a ton of packs. He'd buy like 5 here out of this one, and then 2 out of this one, and then 1 pack out of the third one. It would just, dude's luck was insane. It's insane.
Yeah. I've seen some crazy CN1 bought 3 full hollow moths and a reverse moth in 1 box. But then I remember when CN2 dropped, man, the pull rate of the moth was like, dude, it's hard to pull a full hollow moth from CN2. It's hard. Like I would literally go through 4 or 5 boxes with no moth. And so it was like, I remembered CN1 usually having 1 moth in a box. If it didn't have a moth, it would have a lot of freaking OB9s. But yeah, CN2, when it came out, that moth was a hard freaking pull, man. I'll never forget that. I remember there was a guy on Whatnot, and I can't remember who it was, but he had the craziest bounty going on. And if you got to choose 2 OB9s, and you could buy as many packs as you want, and if you called that OB9 that got pulled, you won a non-alternating Kickstarter box. And this was at the time when a non-alt box was going for $12,000. And I just remember thinking, like, is this guy crazy? But man, I watched that stream for hours and nobody was hitting. It was crazy. It was just, man, it's freaking, I don't know. Yeah. Base set will always, doesn't matter if it's Kickstarter, CN1 or CN2. Obviously, value reasons, Kickstarter all day, but it's just the artwork of it, man. And honestly, the pack material of CN1 and Kickstarter,
so much better, yeah.
Just the feeling of it, man. It gives you that vintage feel when you're opening it. It's freaking awesome, man.
I actually pulled a full hollow moth from one of the Walmart blisters, the CN2 Walmart blisters. I actually had insane luck. That was the one card I ended up having to buy from Cryptid Nation 1 was the Mothman. But I had insane luck with CN2, and I think I pulled like honestly 4 of them. And I only opened, I want to say it was like 2 booster boxes and some of the blisters from Walmart because that's all I could really find at the time.
Oh, dude, you don't even want to understand. Oh my God. Along with like, just streaming and selling it, I don't even know. I at minimum I don't even know because I got 5 master cases at once and then went through that and then had to grab 3 more. Yeah, I went through a lot of CN2. a lot.
You didn't
of
pull many moths, though. You're right. You didn't pull many.
Dude, there was very few boxes. Jake Murray, Rivals. I don't know if you're still in here, but he was one that I pulled 2 Mothman out of the same box, and I freaked out. And I actually have a clip. I clipped it because I never hit 2 moths in a box, man. So when it happened, I was like, I have got to clip this, man. I don't know if I just had like terrible luck, but I would think with going through, at minimum, 84 boxes at a minimum, 96 boxes, I would have an idea of what the pull rate is, like somewhat. So it's just, those moths were rough, man. Really rough. Mike blurring out on. What is it? Oh, dude, I got like 5 first ed packs from the rando packs at Walmart. Yeah, I don't find those too often. I'd call Death Beam every time. Yeah, he's still in here. Yes, sir. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. I actually pulled you a Death Beam in that same box.
Well, I got a couple of the box toppers from like the Walmart blisters, but I never found a C in 1 pack. I think I found like 2 or 3 of the actual box C and 2 box toppers though.
Nice.
Yeah, I never found a C in 1 pack.
Oh man.
Yeah, they only actually Caves and Caverns. They only were out for about 2 months, and then they only then they stopped making them because that's when the Wilderness ones I think came out afterwards.
Yep.
And then those were out for a couple months, and then they stopped, and then that's when the UFO ones actually started showing up. So you probably won't find the Cryptid Nation 2 or the Wilderness blisters out in the wild anymore. Well, you might find the Target ones, maybe.
Not at my Target. I still check whenever I go to Walmart or Target, but there's nothing anymore in my area.
I'm excited. We're going to get a Target soon, but yeah, we don't have a Target yet.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to, it's on the TCG Island TikTok. That is right. Yeah, it is for sure on the TikTok.
I have to check it out.
That's screaming like I freaking pull a freaking, that's awesome.
They screamed like that anytime you pulled any sort of fire. Don't lie.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, we've got.
You should watch one of his live rip and shifts sometime. It's very, very entertaining.
Oh, dude, I've got a new overlay for my stream too that I'm getting ready to put up. It's a little bit different. It's gonna be cool.
Like, how quick can we get banned? I'm gonna play Backstreet Boys on Facebook.
Oh God, those were the days, man.
Let's just sing it.
Those were the days. But dude, that was like the funnest time ever. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, the tarot cards in the Target. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I want to see that. That's gonna be cool. But all right, man. I don't know if you guys got anything else, man. Or we can still keep hanging out. I mean, it's up to you guys.
It is after midnight here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we live on the East Coast, my guy. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right.
Whoops.
Sounds like a personal problem. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, at least I can drive to Ohio.
That's not fair.
Face.
I could drive if I wanted to.
Well, actually, I don't know if you could drive to Ohio, I guess.
Night, Harley.
Yeah. So, anyway, I guess come hang out next Monday. We will actually have Harley on next Monday, learning about him, talking with him, getting his insight on all things MetaZoo. And then, like I was talking about, the week after that, the 19th and 20th, that is going to be the first ever MetaZoo tabletop. Should I tell them the name, Ian?
Yeah, why not?
All right, we're calling it, I believe, Casters and Cryptids. So come and hang out and see how the game is played, how it works, using real MetaZoo cards. And then hopefully the week after that, we might be able to interview D the storyteller. So got a lot of really cool stuff actually planned coming up over the next couple of weeks. This is something that, like I said, we want to actually continue because it has a ton of fun, and we can bring in other people from the community. We can uplift them, highlight what they bring, what their thoughts are, what brought them into MetaZoo, what their specialties are, and just like I said, try to lift up everybody, because that's honestly my whole goal, is to lift up the community, because this community is amazing and I love each and every single one of you. All right, enough talking for me.
I mean, I think that we all hold that, in common, man. I mean, you just can tell, you can see it. I mean, you've got your select few, that like to, they get their kicks out of being a troll or something like that. But on the most part, for everything, like, everybody is helpful, and yeah, those trolls usually just get ignored. But like for the most part, anybody that I've came in contact with has been extremely helpful, super nice. If I were to sit here and try to shout out everybody who's helped me out in the MetaZoo community, it's literally an impossible.
I got to work tomorrow. Don't do it. I got to work tomorrow.
It's a literal impossible task.
I'll just bring up the Discord and we can just go down through the names.
Every name.
Okay.
Oh man, dude, not even. it's just a lot, man. There's a lot of people. I want to give a special shout out to David Northcutt, man. He's been going around Tampa, Florida area, man, doing a lot of work, getting he put together a qualifier and everything, and he was a brand new player and everything like that. I definitely need to give him a shout out. He has been going all over the place. He put a qualifier together, got some people to qualify for Ohio, and they're going. So huge shout out to David Northcutt, Northcutt Nation. He's a more primary Facebook guy.
Huge supporter of my channel too. Like, I fully endorse everything you just said. He comments on almost every single video. He'll go through and like it. He'll share it. So he's definitely awesome. Good shout out.
Yes. There's just so many people. I'm not even gonna get into it, but there's just, it's an awesome community, man, and it's taken the toxicity away from other TCG communities. You know what I mean? And it's made it just more enjoyable. And I know we're coming to an end and stuff like that, but the main thing is, it got to a point where in Pokemon, I was kind of I don't know, the community, it wasn't the same. It was just, man, if you posted something, somebody was probably gonna, post something hateful on it and things like that. And you'll rarely see that in MetaZoo. You rarely see that. I mean, you'll see that in certain unmodded places, but that's that's where they freaking lurk. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But I mean, in general, yeah, I love everything about this community, man. He said, I'm on everything but Discord. You should get on Discord, man.
100%
Definitely get on Discord. That's huge.
Do it.
Seriously. It's a lot of good people. But one last thing I want to put out too. The TCG Island Open, please make sure you guys are getting into that. If you guys are, if you're familiar with TTS, then perfect. If you played in, the Caster Society tournament, if you played in the Metaversity New Year's tournament, I mean, if you just play in general on tabletop, then you're already prepared to go for it, man. And that's February 11th. And if there's 64 players or more, it will be a day 2 on February 12th. It is a medal event, first, second, and third place medals. And free MetaZoo for a year for the, top spot.
Those medals could come in hardcore handy at the water tower if you're competing. I'm just saying, because everybody gets a participation medal as well too. So, I mean, those could definitely come in handy in the water tower event. Just throwing that out there.
And then on top of that, the MZO Open is the following week, and that's also a medal event. But I mean, that's specifically for MZOs, which that will actually be probably a pretty wild tournament.
I like
Maybe in the
that
thing.
See
one.
how that goes down. That's
I hope that one's live streamed because I don't know if I can play in it yet, but I definitely want to watch that because I'm really interested to see. Because MZOs, most MZOs know this game like the back of their hand, and so when I talk about like coming up with a combo we haven't seen before, I halfway expect it to be an MZO who thinks of it because they're looking for that type of they're looking for that when they have to actually go to a tournament to judge it. So it's one of those where you try to come up with the questions of what you think you're going to get asked, and in retrospect, you end up actually coming up with a killer combo.
yeah. I just think it's going to be. I mean, I'm a new MZO, but like I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'm confident in myself. Don't get me wrong, but because I know, I know my place in certain areas. So, I'll definitely play in it for sure, but not yeah. I don't know where that'll go. Yeah, but I don't know, man. This has been fun. So we got, what are we at? 2 hours and 45 minutes. Not bad.
Let's go,
man. But so the next one, we got Epic. So Epic's next week. I still haven't announced who our collector guest will be. That's going to be big.
You honestly probably won't find that out for at least a couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh, and what else do we got?
The tabletop, the 19th and 20th, and then potentially an interview with D, the storyteller, the week before the Tower event.
Oh yeah.
So I'm stoked. You both are amazing. This community is amazing. Is there anything that you want to say closing out, Ian?
Should I? Well, yeah.
Go for it. What do you want to say?
Yeah, so there's going to be some big changes to my channel this week. You know about it. So the name of my channel is going to be changing. The channel name is no longer going to be Cryptid Nation News, though this will still be my main content. It's just going to be changed to more of a series name. So I'm still going to be focusing primarily on MetaZoo and Cryptid Nation News. But I wanted to change the channel name to allow myself to branch out a little more into some other TCGs and stuff that I want to talk about that I'm passionate about. So expect some changes on my channel soon. But, really grand scheme, not much is going to change in the short term other than the name, and my primary focus is still going to be MetaZoo.
Everything he's told me about what he's referring to also, I fully support. I think it's one of those where I've actually even contemplated potentially trying to cover a couple different TCGs, not trying to actually get away from MetaZoo content, but more to get those people who are interested in that other TCG interested in MetaZoo as well. Because if you can branch out to something else, like me personally, I honestly really like D-Spirits. If I can get some of the D-Spirits community to come over to MetaZoo or at least get interested in MetaZoo, I feel like my job has been completed. So it in no way is doing something else on a different TCG taking away from MetaZoo. MetaZoo will always be number one in my opinion for me. But I love the idea of trying to branch out to bring in more people to, like I said, this amazing community.
Exactly. So the new channel name is going to be Cardboard and Coffee, and there's going to be a lot of coffee themed stuff going on. One of the ideas for I don't know if it's going to be live or just mini interviews or whatnot, but coffee with casters. So just start bringing that theme into it a little bit. Yeah. So I'm excited to see where it goes and what new videos I can bring to my channel. It really I've gotten to a point I feel like with the weekly updates that I do have that time to branch out now. Like my editing has gotten down. I know what my quality is and kind of where that's sitting, and I'm happy with it and all that. So it's the right time.
Nice. All right. Well, like I said, both of you are amazing. This community is amazing. I love each and every single one of you. Just be the best casters that you can be, supporting each other, trying to, like I said, raise up this community so we can get the word out to get more people involved in this community. So that's just, yeah. But yes, I will send out some sort of, I don't know, link or something for the interview with Harley for next week. That's going to be Monday, same time, 9:30. I think 9:30 worked a lot better than the 10 o'clock that we started out with the first time. Yeah, we'll learn more about Harley and what got him into content creation, what got him into TCGs. Might even be able to get him to if his son is still awake, maybe we can actually talk to Epic Ethan too. Yeah, so yeah, you both are amazing. Thank you guys for jumping on here and I guess just talking with me the last couple hours.
Yeah. Can we end with my video? Is that possible?
What's your video?
Ooh, yeah, the one that I accidentally played but shouldn't have played. But then anyway.
Oh, the movie? Like the thing that I just was in awe of at the beginning of this whole stream?
Yeah.
Oh, the movie.
We'll
All right, 100%. All right, I'm
fix
gonna
that in
start.
post.
But yeah, so anyway, you all have a wonderful night. Thanks so much for checking this out. And like we were both saying too, actually all three of us were saying, if you ever have any questions about content creation, you have any questions about how to get your stuff out, things like that, there are great resources in the Discord. There are great Facebook pages you can share stuff to. There are tons of amazing content creators that have no problem trying to help you, because again, it isn't about any individual one of us. It is about all of us as a collective raising this community up. So I'm gonna end it on that. You guys are amazing, like I said, and I'm gonna play your video here real quick.
Here we go.
Thanks for the sub, Jeff. Woo!
Hey, what's
Have a
up?
good night, y'all.
All right, have a wonderful night, everybody.